Welcome to We Geek Podcast. Today is July 11th, and it is episode 145. My name is Adam, and I'm joined by my good friend Logan.
Hello.
What up, man? And we're We Geek Podcast. So, man, how's your week been? Oh, busy?
I just want to sleep for a month. I haven't had, because I worked for today's Wednesday yesterday, even though it was my day off, and I made a joke a week ago. I worked at my pizza job this week on my day off. Maybe I'll work at my movie theater job next week. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, yeah.
So you can guess what happened yesterday. By next Tuesday I will hang anybody that tries to call me in for next Tuesday. I'm done. I don't care. It's not happening. I need a day off.
Yeah.
By next Tuesday I'll have worked 20 straight days, which includes like 13 or 14 doubles between both jobs. I'm dead. I'm just so done. I've got another week of this almost yet, but I'm so tired.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I bet, man. Yeah, it's been a busy week for me too. I got another flat tire. Ended up getting everything changed out. You know how you go to a dealership or not a dealership, or place to go fix your tires, and you have an older car and they want to tell you everything under the sun is about to fall off, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and you kind of like I kind of know what I'm dealing with already. I know what's important. I know what I can live with for a few more years, and it's just everything's the end of the, if you leave now, you could die. They don't say that, but they totally imply it. But I got some stuff, just got all new tires, got stuff repaired, and it was just, oh my God. I knew I was going to have to do it because the tires were worn out, and it was the stupidest reason too. So, you should never play Pokemon Go and drive. So let me say that from the beginning. And I don't want to suggest that that's what I was doing.
Okay.
But I want to preference that. So I'm on the step of getting Mew, where you have to catch 10 ghost Pokemon.
Okay.
Ghost Pokemon only come out at night. Well, no, they come out during the day, but they're always out at night. Bigger numbers, especially around the 2 o'clock hour.
Okay.
2 to 3 is where they're the busiest at night. So if you pull up your, Pokemon Go and you look at the map and you see all the Pokestops around you, you'll see that they're at just more numbers. And there's a park in my neighborhood, and I always see them there at night, but I'm not going in that park because I don't want to die. Like legit, it's pitch black. I'm sure there's bad stuff going on there. Just not. It's not wide open. You know what I mean? It's not like a wide open park where there's people driving back and forth. It's smack dab in the middle of a neighborhood, 2 neighborhoods. There's a bunch of woods, no lighting, and it's not good. So I would never go in there at night, and I've never planned on it, and I did not. So what I did is, there is a Publix down the street, and I see on my phone, oh, there's a ghost over there. So I get in my car, I get out of the neighborhood, I go down the street, I go to Publix, where Publix is at. It's an empty parking lot, so it's not like, I'm not driving through a neighborhood or anything like that playing Pokemon Go. But I pull up to Publix, and I'm going slowly kind of around this thing, right? Where the ghost is, and I finally get it. And when you're going slow over speed bumps, it's not the same going faster.
Right.
And I think that's what did it with my tire.
Ah.
And so it popped. And I'm heading home, and that's when I start to feel it, because I realized later it must have been me going slowly over the speed bumps that did it. And so I'm driving home on a flat tire, mad that at 2 whatever it was in the morning, I decided to go out and get this stupid ghost Pokemon, which, by the way, I got 3, because there was like 3 hanging around it. but it was just so annoying because I knew that the next day I was hoping I was going to get home, which I did. You can ride on a flat tire just a little way home, so I'm not hitting the gas basically in my neighborhood because I can hear the flat tire, and I'm not calling a tow truck. And I'm just boom, 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 all the way home. And then I knew it's that going to sleep knowing that your car is not running, you can't use it, and that in the morning you're gonna have to figure out a way to get it to the the car shop to get new tires, and it was just not the best way to go to sleep. Um, Woke up, took the tire off, got a ride to the tire shop, got a new tire on that, brought it back, put it on, then drove the car there and got the rest of them done so I don't have to deal with it. But that was my night last weekend. It completely took up my time. I wasn't able to see Ant-Man. Friday's really the only time that I get to do stuff because Saturday I'm always busy, and Sunday I work. So I'll be seeing Ant-Man next week. I hear it's great. I hear it's funny. But yeah, no, sorry. Pokemon Go kind of, as much as good it's done for me, because I've been riding my bike at least 5 miles a day
Nice. Well, there you
because
go.
of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I am fully just on. I could not be more into Pokemon Go right now. I've caught shinies. Like, did you know there are shinies in the game?
I think I had heard that a while back. Yeah.
Yeah, so they added shinies. Do we have a minute that I could talk
Go
about
for it. Yeah, man.
yeah, they had a community day this weekend. So I think every month or every 3 weeks, something like that, I'm getting back into it, so I don't really know, but at least once a month they have a community day where for 3 hours, for example, this this month was Squirtle. So Squirtle Squad showed up. So basically for 3 hours, Squirtles are just kind of everywhere. And in the game, you get quests, you get research tasks, they're called, but they're essentially quests. And one of them was catch 5 Squirtles. So you go around, you catch 5 Squirtles, and at the very end of it, a Squirtle will appear, and it will be the one with the glasses. And you can keep redoing this quest as long as you go to a stop, spin it, and get the quest after the 5. And so I did that all day. I can't tell you how many I got because I got enough to evolve 2 Blastoise, and you need 100 each. Plus 25. You need 25 to get to War Turtle, and then 100 to get to Blastoise.
Jeez, man.
And each Pokemon that you get like 3 or 6 candies. I forget which. And then I have the pineapple that gives me the double candies. So if you don't play Pokemon Go, it's a lot basically. But it's for 3 hours. I rode my bike for 3 hours, and I got more than enough to do that. And I got a few shinies. So I have a shiny Blastoise, which, if you don't know what a shiny is, it's a Pokemon that just has a different color palette. And it's rare. It's very rare, so that's why people want it. You're playing Pokemon because you have that itch in you to collect everything, right?
Right.
And so the shiny just adds another layer. It's like, okay, you're into it, but you guys are the ones that are really into it because now you're shiny hunting, and that's a whole nother level. That's a whole nother hole to fall into. And I never cared about shiny Pokemon in the regular game because there are just tons of different ways to get them, and 1 in 2,000 chances of getting a shiny, whatever. Like, people will reset their DSs trying to get a shiny starter.
Yeah.
I was never into that. I didn't care. I never thought that was important or whatever. But man, when you get your shiny Pokemon and Go, it's so much fun. I got one today. I went to, before work, I rode my bike to one of the gyms near me, and I saw that it was starting. I rode up there. I saw a guy sitting in his car doing nothing but playing on his phone, and I'm thinking, he's probably here for the same thing. So I go up to the gym, I join it to do the raid, and I see that someone's in the lobby waiting. I'm like, oh, it must be this guy. So then we beat the gym. He looks at me, rolls down the window. He's like, yeah, we got it. And I was like, oh my God, I got a shiny. He's like, no way. It was a really cool moment. Then, we added each other in the game so we can send gifts and stuff. That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, man, if you can't tell, I am fully obsessed with the game right now.
Nice.
Yeah, it is. If anyone's listening that's been thinking about getting back into Pokemon Go, definitely now is the time. I'm doing the Mew quest right now. I got to get 100 Magikarp somehow, so I got the Magikarp as my buddy. So every kilometer it drops a candy. I need like 100 more candies because you need 400 total for him. And then every day I'm just trying to fill my Pokédex, and it's got 3 generations plus the Alolan, how in Sun and Moon they had the Alolan,
Right, the different, like the
different
ice
ones.
Vulpix and like the
Yes,
tall Exeggutor and all those. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly. So they've added those to the game as well. So there's so many to collect, so much to do. You don't have to spend a penny. If you do spend any money, probably make your inventory bigger, make your your Pokemon bank bigger. But that's really it. If you play as much as I am, I'm spinning those stops, and there's about 4 inside of the park that I go to, and I ride my bike up and down it, and I have 100 Pokeballs, 158 Great Balls, 100 and some Ultra Balls, just constantly, because I'm trying to catch everything I run across too. So I never run low. As long as you play the game, you really don't have to buy anything except maybe storage, and that's really it. That's just because, I guess, because I'm playing so much and I'm not really like right now. There's also another event going on where you get like a Sunny Pikachu, and I haven't deleted one of those, and I must have like 30 or 40 of them. Eventually
Nice.
I will, but I figured I'd trade some later for people who aren't playing right now. So I don't know. I'm fully obsessed with it. My buddy's going to the UK. He's going to England in a month, and he's going to catch me a Mr. Mime, because you can now trade in the game. So once he gets back, we'll have to build up our friendship, send each other gifts, which are all free, of course. You just spend signs and send the gifts. But yeah, so I can have a Mr. Mime, so to chip away at that Pokédex. It's become a crazy obsession, but it's probably one of the best things I've ever done for my health. Did I talk about it a few weeks ago, how much I've lost?
A little bit maybe, but
Yeah, I started a weird diet where I ate potatoes for 2 weeks because that's what Kevin Smith did, and now I'm eating vegetables. I've had a few cheat meals, so that wasn't good, but I mean, I've lost over 20 pounds, and it's only been, what, 3 weeks now?
nice.
Yeah, so 20, 22 pounds, something like that. Yeah, so I don't know the exact amount I weigh myself on Friday, but it'll be 4 weeks now on Friday. So yeah, no, it's probably the best decision I've made addiction-wise, if that makes sense. Because it's definitely got me active and sweating every day. Because I need it. So I don't know, but that's basically what I've been into. That was my journey, getting the flat tire and everything else. It's been kind of a ride. But yeah, when did you fall off Pokemon Go?
Uh, what? I think I hung in there for a month maybe,
Oh yeah.
and then
Any,
I haven't touched it since.
any chance of getting back into it?
I doubt it because there's
Yeah.
not like I. It's funny because while you were talking, I re-downloaded it and
Yeah.
like
Oh,
I
okay.
reinstalled it, and I'm looking around and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like 5 mile. Like I'm have like one Pokestop in like 3 miles.
Are there any parks around you?
No, not for a few miles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
because I remember like the one that's nearby me now is
Hmm.
new. Like that one I didn't recognize before. So there may be some newer ones, but even still, I'm like, God, I
Well,
don't I don't have the time. That's my
right,
biggest
right,
problem.
right. What I was gonna say is I've because I'm farther down the rabbit hole. I've only kind of shown just a little bit of down the rabbit hole I am with this right now, but I've been watching YouTube videos and some suggestions that I heard for people that live in rural areas or areas where it's not a big city, where you don't have a Pokestop, right down the street or a park in your. I'm lucky, I got a park in the neighborhood, so I can just go right there with my bike. But what they do is they usually pick a park on the weekend, and for a few hours they just go and walk it, whatever because the stops, once you spin the sign, it's maybe 10 minutes and it comes back where you can spin it again.
Yeah.
So they'll just kind of walk in a circle for, a few hours, and they're able to get more than enough balls and stuff like that. So when they go back to their side of town and they're walking around, they can catch them there. But yeah, no, I hear you. Living in that kind of area, it's got to be hard for that kind of game to get into it.
Yeah,
but
that was part of why I fell off. Was just like it's so, and even like downtown and in the parks and everything, it's like I don't know. It's not. This isn't the best area for something like that.
Gotcha. I don't know, man. Well, whenever the next community day is, I'll try and give you a heads up if you have any time, so you can see kind of, because man. Once that clock starts, you just see them popping up everywhere. It's fun because you're like, and they increase the shiny rate as well. So they just did Squirtle, so you had a really good chance of getting a shiny one. So whatever the one is this for next month for August, I'll give you a heads up. And I know you're busy, but man, it'd be cool to have someone to talk to that's back into it, because I feel like a crazy person kind of doing it by myself. But I'm in enough Facebook groups and stuff like that. I've joined a few Discord channels where that's all they talk about, so it's been kind of fun.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, man. So it was a crazy week at the movie theater, huh?
Yeah. That's a safe way to put it.
Yeah, I saw Ant-Man took away a lot.
Yeah, Ant-Man did pretty good. Not. I don't know I don't know what they were expecting. But 76 million almost. I mean, that's it ain't nothing. I mean, it's not like what we've been seeing, but
Well, I mean, that's kind of what I imagine that's what they're expecting with Ant-Man.
I would think so. I don't think they were shooting particularly high with this.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to see, because I don't have in front of me what the first one made, and I'll have it here in a second. But I know it's made. It's not one of the higher performing Marvel films. I know that.
Right.
And that kind of sucks because it's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's funny. It's damn funny.
Okay.
But let's see. Ant-Man first weekend, 57 million. So it's made considerably more than the first one did. Its opening weekend. Good, very good. I like that.
Oh yeah.
But it had a decent week. And I that's one that's gonna be really great. Like that's gonna do really well on home video, because that's gonna be a fun, like when that one comes out on Netflix, it's gonna spike. That's gonna be a lot of like, it's gonna be families who are like, well, what do we want to watch? Well, hey, there's Ant-Man, and then it's a bunch of, because I could see this with some of my buddies. When I lived down in Bradenton, like, well, what are we gonna do tonight? Well, let's, a couple of us will drink and we'll all watch Ant-Man. Like, I mean, that's
right.
Yeah. You're gonna see a lot of that, for sure.
Oh yeah. His I mean, the first one is one of my favorite. I mean, Paul Rudd's hilarious. The cast is great.
He's magnificent in this. You have to see it, because there's one part in it where he's just unreal.
Yeah. I'm mad that I wasn't able to see it, and it was trying to get to the theater was just kind of impossible beginning this week because of my obsession, and because the times with the time the movie started during the weekdays
Yeah.
is just short enough for me when I have to go into work. I wouldn't have been able to make it home.
Right.
So yeah, just I tried to see it on the weekend, but I couldn't. But yeah, no, but I did see. Wait, did we talk about Jurassic World last week? No, we didn't. I did see Jurassic World and Incredibles.
Nice. Yeah, we didn't talk about any. We didn't review anything last week.
Okay. Yeah, so we can talk about that later. Then yeah, I saw the week prior to that. I saw Jurassic World and I saw Incredibles too. So, loved both of them. I thought they were great.
Nice.
Yeah, and I see that they actually made number 2 and number 3, Jurassic World 28 million and Incredibles 2 28 million as well, just a little shy of it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. The Purge I hear is really good. The first Purge.
I've heard mixed things.
Oh, really?
Well,
your ear is more to the ground than I am.
Well, and I mean, here's the thing. Like, I also have to consider the crowd.
Okay.
I think that people who, because it's not a horror movie. The first one was designed to be a horror movie. It was a breaking and entering film. It was a home invasion film. That's the word I was looking for. But
right.
They became more kind of thriller as the series went on, and I think this one continues that same. From what I've been hearing, like it kind of leans that way again. And,
okay.
Some people dug it, some people didn't. The mid-credits scene made me laugh a lot and this is not spoiling anything because it's not related to the movie at all. It's literally a commercial for the series that they're doing on, was it like USA or FX or whatever it's on?
Yeah, I hear there's a TV show. I was confused because I was like, "Oh, this says this show, but it looks like the movie."
It's a 10 episode series, and from what I've heard, each episode is going to focus on a different family, I guess, during the same purge.
That's smart.
So it's like that's interesting. That's a way to do it fresh. I like that because I think the movies have kind of worn themselves out.
Oh yeah, no, I completely agree. Yeah, that makes sense.
But I don't know. I kind of want to see it. I kind of like. I know I'm going to eventually. It's just a matter of, do I really want to go see it? Do I want to make the time to go see it in the theaters?
Yeah.
I still want that first poster just because it makes me laugh really hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know if we have any of them. I need to check tomorrow. But
okay.
We got one, but I don't know. Like there's no system.
Right.
They try. It's like anything else. You try to organize something, and a week later, you're back where you started.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Man, how beautiful was that Pokemon poster?
That was gorgeous. Yeah, I was glad you sent me that. Yeah, I doubt we're gonna see that because we're not gonna have it.
Right. But yeah, I imagine if it gets any kind of theater, it would be limited, very limited.
Is it even coming out over here?
Those movies usually do come out in the theaters, but it's very limited.
Do they really? I'm
pretty sure the last one did.
Well, yeah, but that was interesting because that one was actually like a Fathom Events thing.
Well, apparently this movie is a sequel to that one.
Right.
I don't want to get into the Pokemon timelines, but
what is this? Everyone's Story, right?
Yeah, I never saw it. Apparently Pikachu talks in it, or like he's imagining it or something like that.
Oh yeah, that was the last one. That was Pokemon
right.
I Choose You. Yeah, let's talk about this one.
And this one's a sequel. Like, from looking at the poster,
yeah,
there's Pikachu, there's Eevee. It's almost as if they are going off of the "Let's go Pikachu, let's go Eevee."
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, because it's coming out at the same time. So I imagine it looks maybe like it's supposed to be a new city, but it looks like it's based off San Francisco.
Yeah, all that it's like the only release information it has is that it comes out Friday in Japan.
Okay.
There's no and again, this will probably
this Friday?
Yeah.
Oh.
But again, just in Japan.
Right.
So it may come later over here.
Probably 6 months, maybe less.
Well, when did
maybe Christmas or a little bit after that? I'm thinking.
Well, let me see. When did what was the time difference between Pokemon the movie I Choose You? July 6th in Japan.
Right.
Well, July 15th in Japan, technically. because there was like a pre-release, whatever. America.
Maybe a year.
It
I know it
doesn't.
came out this year.
Okay, I don't see it. Movie takes across fans.
What was it called?
But what was it? Pokemon. It was Pokemon the movie. I Choose You. It's weird. I'm not seeing the U.S. release date. Japan, July 15th. Limited theatrical run. Rest of the world, November 5th. Okay, so it was
Okay.
4 months. That's not bad.
Yeah. So I'm thinking this will be around Christmas time. It'll be perfect for when Pokemon comes out. Yeah, I want to see
Yeah.
it because they it's apparently like an alternate timeline with Ash. It's a retelling
Yeah,
of
they're like, hey, this story has gone on for 20 years. We need to start over.
right.
And that's
A-
pretty much what they did. I'm all right with that.
Now, have you seen the show? I think it's called Generations.
No, God, I haven't watched in decades, seriously.
Well, there is I think it's called Generations, and it tells the story of Red.
Oh, wait, yes, I did see that because that was based more on the manga than the actual cuz like they did cuz they did the game cuz the game came first cuz Blue and Green technically in Japan came first.
Right.
And then they did a manga which followed the games more closely. And
Yes.
then they did the cartoon, which was decidedly more. I don't want to say juvenile, but it was way more kids.
It was called Pokemon Origins. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No doubt. It was aimed towards kids, and they didn't want the main character to pick Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle because they didn't want the kids who picked the other ones. If let's say he picked Charmander, he picked Pikachu. So yeah. And then when this one, like you said, is based off of more of the manga and the game,
Yeah.
than the show. The show's interesting. Yeah, no, I like I said, I fell down a deep dark hole. I turned on Netflix to see what they had, and I guess they're doing Sun and Moon right now.
Sure.
For which makes sense. Or it's Ultra Sun and Moon Adventures or something, and it's kind of a soft reset. Because the animation style is completely different. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, but I'm not surprised.
Like Ash looks like his face, just the animation looks very different. But it's better animation, but the face just looks different. I don't know, but anyway, yeah. So I don't know, it's interesting. I want to see the other movie, the one that came out last year.
It's not bad. I mean, it's a Pokemon movie. They're not going to be Shakespeare.
Oh,
Like, I mean,
right, no,
it's
there's a level that I understand
yeah.
it's gonna be at. It's nothing that I'm gonna go in and, but yeah, no, I'm just curious, I guess.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
not
what it's
bad.
about.
I mean, you watch it and you go, "Okay, well that was cute." Like, I
Yeah,
mean, that's exactly how I came away from it. I was like, "Oh yeah. All right, cool. I see what they did there."
yeah, oh yeah. I'm wondering what the art style for the new one's gonna look like.
Good question.
Cause he looks, I don't know, it looks different from the show in the poster. I don't know. I'm curious what it's gonna look like because it looks beautiful, the artwork in the poster. If it looks anything like that,
Yeah,
that's
that artwork is something.
Oh, okay. So the way he looked in everyone's story is kind of how he looked in the not the older anime, but like an updated version of it.
Okay.
It didn't look like the Sun and Moon animation, so that's cool. Anyway, sorry to get so off topic. Where were we? We're talking about the movies, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that was kind of it for the box office, right?
Yeah, it's a decent.
What do we
weekend.
got? What do we got coming out next week?
This coming week, we've got one for kids and one for nobody. Hotel Transylvania 3, Summer Vacation. Interestingly, I finally kind of caved and decided to watch the first two a few days ago.
Okay.
And it's standard, like, it's kind of how animated movies go. The first one is neat. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I get why kids would really like it. The second one is like a Disney animated sequel.
Oh,
because
okay.
it's like, oh, they made a second one and it was awful.
Is this the series with Selena Gomez?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea who's in it beyond Adam Sandler as Dracula. That's
Right,
that's
right.
all I know. Uh,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
and that was why I was really hesitant because I was like, "Oh God, it's animated Adam Sandler." Um, but
Yeah.
but let me tell you this: these are not Adam Sandler movies. These are movies that happen to star Adam Sandler.
Right, right. It's
And
got Andy Samberg in it, Selena Gomez.
okay, yeah, David
Yeah.
Spade's in it.
Oh
There's
yeah,
all
Kevin
kinds of people.
James, the whole
Yeah,
crew.
but
That's cool. That's
it's
cool.
not it's not like the first one is okay. It's like okay, that was fine as an animated movie. It was kind of different.
Hmm.
And the second one, yeah, not so great. Uh, but I mean, the third one's gonna bring out kids. And it's gonna
Oh
say,
yeah.
"Well, I want to go to movies. I want to go to the movies." Well, there was, like they've seen Incredibles twice, so they don't
Hmm.
want to go do that again. Parents don't want to
Oh,
go do that again.
oh man, I haven't been to an animated movie in years. I went with my friend and her kids, and holy crap, is it an experience?
It's a nightmare.
It is, yes, it is a nightmare. Um, they had fun, so that's all I cared about. So I get it now, I guess.
Uh-huh.
If that ever happened in a normal movie, I would have lost my mind.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm happy to cut kids some slack. Like if you go to a kids movie, expect that it's for kids. I get
oh
it.
yeah, they
Like I'm
got up and shouted things and ran around in a circle, and parents are yelling at their kids, and I guess it's just all kind of everyone in the audience, adults, just seemed like it was just the normal
right.
thing
You
that's
just
happened.
like that's the thing. It is a kids movie. We had
Right.
that happen with Ant-Man and the Wasp and like people were not having it.
Oh no, I would be
It's
mad. I'd be
oh
like, you
no.
can control your. Oh my God, Jurassic World. I got so mad. Thankfully, someone else told on this lady because I was so close to losing my shit. Um, so watching the movie, about halfway through, you hear a baby start crying,
Okay. It
like
happens.
a baby, not like a kid, but like a baby,
Right.
and it just doesn't stop. And after
Oh
about a minute
no.
or so, I hear her like, oh, and I look up. Everyone's kind of looking at her as soon as when I'm turning, and I'm all the way down in the front, kind of, because I like to get the front area when no one's there,
Yeah.
and I feel like I have the whole thing to myself, and I don't mind kind of sitting up close. It's not too close, but it's good.
Right.
And I see her walking down the stairs, and then she stops and she sits at the very bottom,
No, you leave. You leave.
and she didn't leave. No, the
Uh,
baby stopped crying when she pulled out her phone, her very bright phone, and let the baby play with it.
no, 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 no,
And then she goes from the row behind me to the same row I'm in down below. And I look over and I said something like, "Can you turn your phone off?" or something like that. Baby starts crying. So someone came in, told her to get off her phone. The baby immediately starts crying when the phone gets off. And after about a minute, she got out of the theater. It was so distracting, so incredibly distracting. Why would you take an infant, like this baby must have been born yesterday, to a movie with dinosaurs screaming and people screaming and yelling
no.
and getting
Right.
eaten?
I don't know.
It
God.
makes no sense to me. Like, and she looked like she was taking care of the baby. It wasn't her baby. It looked like maybe the parents were in the theater as well. Like, why would
Uh,
you not stay at home?
no, I've seen, but one thing that I think is kind of like I kind of feel good about seeing is whenever I see a parent that has like a toddler or something, maybe like 3 and is just kind of like waddling around and stuff,
Right,
they get bored. And I'll
right.
see, we'll see parents come out of theaters and the kid will just like run up and down the halls.
Hmm.
And they're standing there and they're watching them or they're walking with them and I'm like, okay, cool. They came to see a movie and the kid got bored, so instead of trying to say, no, you will sit here and watch this movie and be quiet, they're like, no, we're just gonna get up and leave and not
Hmm.
bother people. And I'm
Right.
like, that's what you do. I see people all the time come out of movie theaters and then like they take their phone out of their pocket to take a call.
Yeah.
There's not because I think that crowds are finally to the point. I think a lot of people have just had enough. I
Yeah.
really do.
I.
I mean, because it's like you said, it's one thing when you go to like The Incredibles or something. It's
Oh
a
yeah.
it's a kids movie. Kids are gonna be kids, and
Right.
you just have to deal. You know,
Right.
that's part of it. If you don't want to deal with that, then come to a 10:30 show.
Hmm.
Come to a 10:30 at night where all the kids are going to be in bed and it's just parents. Fine.
Right.
But, you know, but on the flip side, we had on for the Ant-Man and the Wasp premiere, there were a couple of kids, their mom was down front on her phone, and the kids were like climbing around on the railings and stuff. And somebody
Yeah.
came out and was like, "Hey, this is a problem." And I was not in a great mood that night, so I was like, "I'll handle this." And I
Mhm.
had no problem threatening to throw a fourth grader out of a movie.
Yeah.
No problem, no shame, nothing. Scared the hell out of the mother because they were like, "Oh my god, you're serious?" Like, yeah, put it
Yeah.
away, find a seat, or get out. like,
Right. Yeah. Like it's.
just
I don't understand it. I really don't. Find a babysitter, and if your kids can't act right, take them to the animated movie. Don't take them to something like that. It's
right.
ridiculous.
It's just common courtesy, which is why it doesn't happen because it's not that common.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I mean, I was during The Incredibles. I was sitting there, and her kids are great. Just they pay attention the whole time. They laugh when they're supposed to. They get excited and cheer and all that other good stuff. But these kids to the left of me were just bad kids. They like one of them kept putting his foot up, and his dad kept saying, "If you don't put your goddamn foot down," what? Like he kept yelling at him, and it just made me laugh every time. And the poor kid was just, there's a new person sitting next to him, so he just got to stare at him,
Yeah.
and kids. So
Yeah.
it was funny, but I enjoyed the movie. Nonetheless, I wasn't really that distracted. With Incredibles, the Jurassic Park was way more distracting because I was like zoned in, and I was supposed to care about these characters on the screen, but this lady thinks pulling a phone out is the best idea. It's just so dumb.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, as soon as the person, because someone else obviously told on her, and when they came in, it was like, because I heard him, it was like, you need to stay off your phone, and we've heard complaints about your baby crying or whatever. So she finally got out of there.
Yeah,
you could tell you could just the energy in the room. You could tell people were like, "Thank God" when she left.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, people don't play, but yeah, kids movies are fun because eventually, like, something shiny will attract the kids' attention again,
Right.
and suddenly they're zoned in and they're invested and everything, and then it'll last for like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But it comes in waves. It is a whole different experience, and you just have to remember that these are movies made for kids, so the audience is going to be kids, and that is a time where you're like, look, if you're somebody who's like, I want to enjoy this the way I do every other movie, then either come to a really late show,
yeah,
or or wait and watch it at home. Sorry, but them's the breaks, man. Sometimes,
and that's what I think that's what most people do.
Yeah.
These days is that they'll wait. Especially if they don't have kids, they usually wait or they go late.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an enjoyable experience for sure.
Yeah. Or go see Sicario and get stoned, like happened today. I had one of the people at work came to me and was like, "How's your sense of smell?" I was like, "Why?" And they're like, "Go down here," and it was one of the theaters we had Sicario in, and I got to the door. I didn't even open it. I got to the door and I reached out for the handle and I went, "Okay." Literally any movie, and you picked this one.
Right.
It's a little on the nose, right?
Right. Seriously.
So that was, so after that one was over, we had to break out the air freshener and all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, God.
Yeah.
It's just not. I wish that had been, because that was early in my shift. I wish that had been at the end, because then I would have just stood at the bottom of the steps.
Yeah.
Because that would have helped. But
yeah.
it was bad, and it happened. And like there were people walking by me going to see another movie at the end of the night, and as they were walking by me, I thought, "Oh, jeez, really? Like again? Seriously? Like don't get stoned and come to the movies. Get stoned and watch them in your house."
Right. Exactly.
Because otherwise, you're gonna fall down the stairs. Like, that's all I'm worried about. I don't care about anything else. Like, but you're gonna fall, and there's gonna be an investigation, and then you're gonna go to jail because they're gonna have to do a blood test. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just don't do it. You know,
Yep.
just don't.
Yeah.
Or at least share, for God's sake. Have some
Right.
decency.
Right. Passing around the the theater.
Uh,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Speaking
So.
of speaking of high, Skyscraper also comes out this week. So
Oh yeah, man, I've been seeing that everywhere.
yeah,
They haven't, man. Every station I turn on,
mm-hmm.
every ad on YouTube, I've been seeing in my dreams.
They had
I'm
him
just
do.
kidding.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. They had him do voiceover work as a disguised ad for Skyscraper, as like he was narrating a NASCAR commercial. Like it was
Oh,
on
wow.
during the race, and then it was just like, wait, are you guys gonna play NASCAR footage over this? Oh, I thought we were doing an ad for my new movie Skyscraper. I was like, oh God, Dwayne, really?
I thought it was already out because, like, I was watching Cartoon Network or something, and they're like, and here's a scene from Skyscraper, and it was like a whole scene of him
I'm sure. Yeah.
getting out a window, going across, something exploding, and him falling down a thing, and then going into and then like his leg comes off and it catches the side, and I'm like, oh, they just showed all this stuff. I thought it was already out, but
This
man,
week.
they've been pressing that movie hard.
Well, because they don't want another Rampage, because Rampage did not do well. And
that's true.
And I think they're worried. They want this to be more San Andreas, you know, because San Andreas was one that nobody, like, when it came out and it made bank and people went, wow, we didn't see that coming.
Oh, okay.
That's not what's going to happen here. Sorry, dude.
You don't think so?
No, I don't. I think
people love The Rock.
Yeah, they didn't go see Rampage.
That's true, and that had like giant monsters.
They didn't go see Baywatch. Like, it has to be a good movie. I'm sorry.
That's true. I saw that over the what was it, this weekend or last weekend?
What, Baywatch?
Yeah, my weekend's kind of blown.
God, I'm sorry.
Together. Yeah, we watched it. She wanted to see it. It was pretty good though. No, I'm sorry. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, wait.
It was pretty bad. No, I was. What else did we watch? Watch something else I thought was good. Yeah, Baywatch was not good.
No, it wasn't.
It was just boring. I don't know. There were so many scenes that I could tell they tried to be funny and it just wasn't funny.
Yeah.
It felt like a made for HBO show.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah. And it's like a made for HBO movie, basically. It was it's like the people who used to do those like Skinamax at night shows got the Baywatch franchise. There's no nudity or anything like that.
No, but it was just like, hey, we have this license. We should make a movie about it.
Right, or maybe I should say the oh man, now this is gonna bother me. Not the National Lampoon. It was like it felt like a National Lampoon straight to DVD American Pie 9 sequel kind of film. So what else? We saw something else I thought was pretty good, but I forget what it was.
Was it another movie with The Rock or?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just all running together now.
Yeah. Sounds like Central Intelligence was pretty good.
Okay, no, I don't think it was that. I don't even know. We watched Riverdale one of those Sundays, and I'm almost caught up with Riverdale.
I need to watch this season. I haven't watched any of it yet.
It's the best kind of garbage.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's straight garbage. If I was watching it week to week, I'd probably not like it. I'd probably think it was just really bad. But there's something about just going through it where you're like, this is so bad, but I want to watch another one.
Well, because I like the first season was really good, and then I heard the second season did a 180 and was like, it got so convoluted and so ridiculous that it's good for the wrong reasons.
Oh yeah, it's exactly what happens. The first one is really good. I never finished the first one. I watched most of it, but I never finished it. Yes, the second one is just all sorts of crazy, all sorts of like this man, Archie, like I'm just gonna should I throw some things out there? Like at some point someone's a stripper, at some point someone's a gang member, at some point there's mafia stuff. Like it's all over the place. There's a guy with a black mask killing people, and not just like shooting them, like violently murdering them in the town, and you're like, oh wow, they're really going for Afterlife with Archie with this,
Okay.
like as a horror thing. Yeah, it's all over the place in a really trashy way that I like. I like it. It's good.
Well, there you
It's
go.
very CW. It reminds me a lot of One Tree Hill and those kind of shows. It's like an over the top One Tree Hill, which is great. Sometimes you just kind of want that, you know.
So it's kind of like Passions in a way. Passions was kind of like that.
Never saw Passions.
Passions was like a supernatural soap opera. It was
yeah, kind of like
yeah.
that. Like there's no supernatural element, but it's almost it's kind of like Gotham in a way, where the world just doesn't seem normal,
Right.
and in no way would any of these situations, like I couldn't have, like the teen dramas used to be like, oh my god, I got Becky pregnant, and you know what a crazy mess I've gotten into, and you know Jason's this, and but you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
this is more like they're worrying about murder and and like crazy stuff, like being sent away to a, like there's a part of this season where someone is sent to a camp. What do they call it? They're like actual real things, that the stuff that Mike Pence was all into, where the conversion therapy.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So that's a part of this season, and it's like it's almost it's very cartoonish, I guess, in a way. Like you think of nuns and they're being get a needle stuck in them and they can't focus, and you know it's hard to explain, but it's over the top, but it's also still grounded, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like there's no supernatural elements, but it's just very over the top of what they're doing. And just the situations they get in, and who dies and who lives and how they die and how they just get away with it, you know. It's just so it's so willy-nilly, it's crazy. But yeah, it's good. I'm now the Sabrina show, is that tied into this?
It's going to be set in the same universe, yeah.
Okay.
So
okay.
I don't know if they're going to ever introduce her or mention her or what. I don't know if that's something they've done or are going to do, but it's going to be set in the same
I get the Oh, go ahead.
No, it's just going to say, like, it's not going to be like a pocket universe or something. Like, it's going to be the same world.
I hope that they introduce. That's what it seems like it's going towards.
Yeah.
Because the amount of murder in this season alone, and the amount of just kooky stuff that's happening, she would fit in perfectly. Like there's literally a house called like the Dead House or something like that, where there was a murder, you know, however many years ago, and if you go there at night, like it's very like I could see this totally. I could see her just showing up and that just being a part of the show. It would blend in perfectly.
Nice.
And ended up falling asleep on the couch, woke up to everyone singing in the show. Everyone was singing, and it was like a musical one episode, and I thought I was dreaming, and I went back to sleep. Because it wasn't just like they're singing on a stage, it was like they're walking down the halls and singing, and there must have been, because I tried to think back, because I remember there was a Flash episode that did this.
Yeah.
It had to have been like the same night, right? Where like all the CW shows were musicals.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe like if any network could do that, it'd be the CW.
Okay, here Riverdale musical.
Sure.
Okay, so there was a musical episode. Yeah, I knew there was one because I talked about someone and they were like, "Oh yeah, there's an episode where they sing." So yeah, I guess it must have been the same night. That's what I mean about it being just a weird season. There's an episode that's literally a musical.
It happens. Like, I mean, they did that with Buffy. Like, they had a musical episode.
I guess I never saw that.
Yeah, it was, well, but I mean, that was a whole, anyway.
That's what I mean. Like, it's fun. It's dumb garbage fun, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I hope people don't take that the wrong way when I say garbage. I mean it in the best possible way.
It's kind of like how some movies are just popcorn movies. It's like,
yes,
you just go and watch. You're not meant to take it seriously or dissect it or criticize it. You're just meant to enjoy it.
Exactly. I don't need to go to Ruth Chris every night. I'll be broke and I would be way too fat. and sometimes you need fast food,
Yeah.
and whatever. If that makes sense, like it's okay. It's it's okay to eat something like that, and it's enjoyable. So I don't know. So yeah, it was real good. I highly recommend it. Now here's the weird thing. I'm trying to get through Flash. I just can't.
I haven't started again for a while. Like I don't even remember where I stopped.
I feel like the CW superhero stuff, somehow I got off that bus. And I'm trying to get back on. I've put it on a few times. I'm on an episode, and this isn't that big of a spoiler. He's in a trial, blah blah blah. That's a million times in the comics.
Yeah, right.
And I just can't find it in me to finish the season for some reason. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me or whatever, but I want to finish. Same with The Walking Dead. I put on The Walking Dead the other day, and then I turned it off. I was like, I'm not into this.
Yeah, I have no desire. Like I may one day go back. Like I'll probably go back to it once it's over.
Yeah.
I just have no desire to jump back into that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like slowly, there's nothing on television that I want to see,
Yeah.
and it's the golden era of television. There's so much stuff out there, and I just could not care less. I am watching the dumbest stuff. I'm watching Riverdale. The last show I think I really finished was I don't Rebels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I find myself going on Netflix and watching the dumbest things, and that's kind of a
I tell you, Matt, pick a British stand-up comic and watch that.
yeah.
Like the God, I love that so many of those guys have their own specials now.
Yeah, no, maybe I'll do that. I want something, because I still like that genre that I'm into, but I want something new.
Yeah.
I turned on Luke Cage and I turned it off.
Yeah, I don't feel any desire to watch that because nobody has anything good to say about it.
Right, yeah. Like I'm in this weird funk of, if there was a Star Wars show that was released tomorrow, I'd be on it.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, I would be on it. I still want to watch TV, but I'm just not into it right now.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's exciting me. The DC stuff seems interesting. All the stuff that they're going to come out with.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe I'll do the Star Trek because I do want to see that.
Do Discovery. Discovery was good. I only watched maybe 4 or 5 episodes,
Same here.
I mean to go back because it was good.
Yeah, I think 4 or 5 is where I jumped off to, because I think that's what I'm gonna do, because that's definitely in my alley right now. That's what I want, up my alley right. Whatever it's too late. That's right up my alley right now is what I'm trying to say.
There you go.
Yeah. It was going to come at some point. But yeah, so I want to do that. So I don't know. But okay. All right. Where were we? We're talking about movies, what's coming out. We got some news here. So apparently the name for the next one leaked, for the new Avengers movie, and it would be called Avengers Endgame. What do you think about it?
I'm all right with that. I like that title.
Yeah, and we talked about that before. They dropped that a bunch, in a bunch of hints of that in the last movie, and the Avengers, Age of Ultron. They talk about the end game.
Yeah.
So makes sense. I think that's a great name. The Infinity War Thanos cut reportedly getting 30 minutes more footage. It's supposed to be a lot about Thanos.
Yeah, it's like his backstory and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's cool.
Okay, cool. Like that's something that I'm glad they're doing as like a bonus.
Right.
Like I think that's a good thing to not have like in the theatrical cut. I'm good with that. I think it's a smart choice.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Brie Larson tweets photos showing that filming is wrapped for Captain Marvel, which is great because that's coming out, early next year.
Yep. And so March something?
Yes.
I forget.
Yes.
Yeah, I forget.
It's in March, yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically the same time frame where Black Panther was to Avengers Infinity War, so it's going to be right before it.
Yeah.
Get pumped, which I'm excited about. I want to see this Captain Marvel. Apparently she's supposed to be like the most powerful thing in the Marvel Universe, Kevin Feige said. So that's going to be interesting. That's definitely that's a big difference between what she is in the comics. So I'm super excited about that. I want to see how they tie that in there.
Is that
Which is
necessarily true though? I thought she was pretty kick-ass in the comics.
she's kick-ass, but she's nowhere near as powerful as, say, they're basically saying she's more powerful than Thor.
Okay.
And she's nowhere near that in the comics.
That's fair.
She has this I forget what it's called. She has this thing that can make her crazy powerful. But it's not really she's half Kree, right? But
right.
I mean, that's she takes over. Captain. I don't know that much about Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel. I've only read her in Mighty Avengers, All New Avengers, and stuff like that. Like the stuff in the last 10 years or so.
Yeah.
And then a lot of Miss Marvel. But she's nowhere near the same power level as, say, Thor. Thor is, that's why Thor was dead in Civil War, and Hulk was off the planet because they were just way too powerful. If Tony or Cap had either one of them, it would have been game over, right? They're
right.
kind of Hulk, the strongest there is, and Thor is a literal god. Once he has the Odin, now that he has the Odin, whatever it's called,
Odin Force, yeah.
The Odin Force, he's crazy. Crazy powerful. He started a dying sun and stuff in the movie. So like he's super powerful. And for her it's definitely a bump to the power level. To the most powerful thing in the universe. I mean, you're talking about Silver Surfer, like there's beings that are just crazy, and if they're boosting her to kind of Thor and Silver Surfer in that kind of level, that would be really cool. Which is awesome. I just my biggest hope out of that movie is that we get a Miss Marvel tease.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
That would be really cool. But yeah, I'm super excited for a movie, and it's gonna be set in the 90s, which is gonna be really cool.
It's gonna be weird seeing like everybody like digitally younger.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. They've done really good with the technology over the years, so I think it'll be fine. But
yeah, well, they did because they did more of it in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and it looked really good.
Oh, they did, yeah.
Yeah, there's some flashback scenes, and it's like, damn, there's some with Lawrence Fishburne. And
okay.
And it's like, holy crap, like he looks good. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah. Now he's what's his name in the comics? Like Gigantic or Giant Man?
Goliath.
Goliath. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Fun fact: he was the one that Robot Thor killed in Civil War in the comics.
In Civil War. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was good. That was one of my favorite events, Civil War.
Yeah, Civil War was a good event. Some of the tie-ins and repercussions.
Yeah, I started reading the Thor that came out after that, and it was about when he came back.
Yeah.
And it's a really good run. But that was before I started playing Pokemon Go. I need to get back to that because that was fun. I read like the first 6 or 7 issues. It was really good.
Nice.
Because it was basically them going, what do we do with this character? How do we make him interesting? And it's kind of the modern day version of Thor, where they get rid of the what's it called? David, whatever his name is.
Oh yeah,
they get rid of the human whatever, and it's just Thor is Thor.
Donald Blake, yeah.
Donald Blake, yeah. They get rid of that whole deal, and it's interesting. Now, like, I've started reading some of the Doctor Strange stuff, and it was interesting for a little bit there. Loki was the
sorcerer. Was he Sorcerer Supreme, or was he Sorceress Supreme?
I think he was Sorcerer Supreme.
Okay, because there was a while where he was flipping back and forth.
Wait, what do you mean? Did you say Sorceress?
Yeah, he was.
Oh no, he was male in this one.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if he's female now. Yeah, he does flip back and forth. But now I don't know. I think Doctor Strange is going against gods and stuff like that now. I don't know. I need to get back into that. There's so many things I need to get back into. So little time. Pokemon has all my attention. Some Star Wars new. Kerry Russell joins Cass, and Billy D. Williams to return as Lando.
Yeah, episode 9's gonna be cool.
Rest in peace, Lando.
Yes.
Now, what if they get a time machine and they somehow get Donald Glover in this?
Oh, God.
I'm just kidding. Or they get like a ray that de-ages him. Like Goku for Dragon Ball GT.
Oh, God.
I'm just kidding. I hope they don't bring him back just to kill him, like everyone else they've done.
I kind of hope not either.
I'm expecting it.
Yeah, because that's the problem, is everybody's like, oh, they're bringing back an old character, like, he's gonna die. I think Lando's one you could get away with, like, he just kind of exists. Because he's a side character. He's a fun side character.
He's a fun side character. Yeah. He's really old, too, now, Billy D. Williams, so I can't see him doing too much.
He won't do a lot. He was in an episode of White Collar a few years ago, and he's still got it. Like, he is still very cool. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He still pulls that off really well. No, he's not going to be doing a whole lot, but he's still got it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Good. Yeah, no, I mean, I expect him to kind of... I want him to lay back. I want him to be like a general or something. I want him to like be cool and, just be, I don't kill him. Don't kill him. Like, we've too many deaths. And then, of course... Unfortunately, the real death of Carrie Fisher. I'd rather they just kind of back away now.
I think that's and I hope that they look at that and say, we don't have to get rid of everybody. Like let Lando just be retired, but still, kind of doing a thing or two on the side.
Right.
But
right, exactly.
But it's that kind of thing of like, yeah, but it's Lando Calrissian. Like
they should have put him in Canobite. That should have been the guy they went and when she was like, "Hey, I know a guy," it really should have been Billy D. Williams.
I thought about that, but then I was like, "Yeah, but he wasn't a hacker. He was a con man."
Right. Yeah, I don't know how they would tie that in.
Yeah, so I don't know. I could definitely see him as like as just. Oh, we need something, well then here's a guy. Like
we need to get past a certain port or something like that. Yeah. And they're like, well, this guy knows how to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like just, I think it'll work.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, what else we got? We got some more Spider-Man news. JB Smoove cast as unannounced role.
Yeah, speaking of cool, like
Wait, so who's this?
Oh, you don't know JB Smoove?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. God, he was in...
Oh, I just Googled him. I've seen his face.
I was going to say, he's one of those guys that, like, you may not know his name, but as soon as you see him, you go, oh, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's...
Let's see here. You think he'd be playing J. Jonah Jameson? That's what some of these sites think.
Ooh, I would be down with that. I'm okay with that. That's good. I like that.
I totally see that.
Yeah. I could... Oh, God. I'm going to love watching... white people freak out over that. It's gonna be hilarious. I love it.
Oh yeah.
I love
that
it.
High top with the white on the sides.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, duh. Robbie Robertson. What do you want to bet? You think they would just go the safe route and cast him as Robbie Robertson?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, they could.
I think that's... I would rather him be Jonah, though. I'd like to see that. I would much rather love to see that. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But you're right. I mean, they could go that route.
I'd be a little disappointed, though, just because now I'm thinking about him as Jonah. Like, that's... Right. I like that. I really like that idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Give him a nice big mustache. Be great.
He could do it too, man. He could do over the top like Jonah. Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, the last guy that did it was J.K. Simmons, so now we've got JB Smoove. Like, yeah, that works. I'm good with that.
Right.
I like the symmetry there.
Yep. Oh yeah. Let's see here. Morbius. Some weird news. Jared Leto casts the role of Spider-Man spinoff.
I don't know about this. Part of me says, you know what, Jared Leto's actually not a bad actor, because he's not.
No, he's definitely not.
I mean, he won an Academy Award, but that's a whole other can of worms there.
But could Morbius hold his own film?
That's the problem that I have. I don't like the idea of a Morbius spinoff. I think Sony is falling down a different trap now. We saw what they were trying to do with Amazing Spider-Man and how that didn't work, and I think now they're going in a completely different wrong direction.
Do you think they're setting up their Sinister Six?
But without Spider-Man?
Well, eventually Spider-Man. I mean, they come back to the table after Homecoming 2 to redo a deal, and by that time they'll have Spider-Man 2, they'll have Venom, and that's it.
Well, they'll have more, and they'll have Morbius probably. Like this will probably come out before.
You think?
Well, no, that's right. God, that's right.
Spider-Man 2's next year, and Disney will now own Fox by that point. So, they'll have. I think Sony will be way more willing to, like, oh, of course we want to have Spider-Man in your universe as well because you have everything, and we want him to kind of be a part of that, and then we can bring him back to this side. I think they'll renegotiate to where Spider-Man can hop back and forth so he can be in these movies.
Right. I hope so. I would rather it be that way because it just looks to me like Sony is trying to build up everybody but Spider-Man so that they can come to the table and say, well, look, we really don't need him because we've built up the whole universe of everybody else without actually having him in it, because he's not going to be in Venom. He's not going to be in the, Black and Sable that they're doing. He's not going to be in Morbius, I doubt. So, I mean, like, that's, And
it takes the wind out of you because these movies would be awesome if it just had Spider-Man in it.
There needs to be some connection. I'm okay with Morbius getting his own movie, but you can't just jump into that.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. Like, these movies all sound interesting to me because if Spider-Man was in them, because I like the main character, it's all reversed. I would love it if it was all reversed where we see the point of view of Morbius, we see the point of view of Venom, we see the point of view of whoever the next one is. And Spider-Man is the good guy, but he's just the antagonist in it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so right. you get that reverse point of view where you're like, maybe there's something to what these guys are saying, and it gives them more credence to when they do the Sinister Six or whatever.
Exactly.
That it's like it's just a more compelling story. It's not just good guy versus bad guy. It's you want Spider-Man to win, but fuck, man, these guys have they have a family or they're trying to do something, and I love that, but you gotta have Spider-Man in it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, so if they did that, and hopefully they will, hopefully it's not just Morbius and that's it, and it's just like him going around, because what's his story without Spider-Man? He's just sucking souls or whatever?
Well, I don't know, he's a science experiment gone wrong. You know? And I mean, that's not, so is...
he's like a vampire, right?
Yes, but there's...
He's he's a vampire, but not the traditional vampire. He's a vampire because of a science experiment gone wrong.
Right. It's a bizarre... And it kind of depends on which origin story you run with, because there have been a couple.
Okay.
But there's...
I just remember he kept showing up in the animated series, and he was helping out Spider-Man.
And that's the thing, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Is he... you could go back and forth with this, and there is this common thread of horrible science experiment accidents. Venom is going to be a science experiment accident. Morbius is a science experiment accident. Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Shocker, Electro. All of these, so many of Spider-Man's villains are either tech-based, somebody like Vulture, or they're accidents, like Spider-Man was. There is a thread here that you can follow. And it's if they found a way to make that work, it really would be interesting, like you were talking about. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if I trust that Sony has learned enough of their lesson to really make that decision, and that worries me.
Right. No, I agree. I think one of the big tests is going to be Venom coming up. We have to. I think the only way we're going to be able to enjoy that movie is if we set the right expectations of not expecting Spider-Man. And if he shows up, that would be awesome. If he's mentioned or whatever or hinted at, but we got to set that expectation until they come to the table again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because who knows how are they going to do that after Spider-Man 2? How is Spider-Man 2 even going to happen? We don't even know that. So I have a feeling that Avengers 4 is setting up to change all of this, not only on the screen but behind the scenes as well.
I think so. I think that and it really makes me wonder just who at Marvel knew what when.
Right.
Like, how much are they game planning? Or is it just a happy coincidence, which is possible, that the fact that they are probably going to really mess with reality in Avengers 4 and time and God only knows what else, it just happens that it's going to work out with this deal with Fox and with what's happening with Sony. It just kind of happens that way. It's possible. It's very possible that it just kind of happens to work out like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's a little on the nose for that.
Right. I think they've definitely set themselves up in a very good position. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I can't wait for Venom. I'm super excited. That last trailer really got me excited. And I don't know. Well, yeah, when I saw the Morbius news, I was like, what? But that's the thing about the Spider-Man universe is they spent so long building his rogue gallery that there wasn't too many heroes that stood out, that fought alongside him. And I know they have, Miles, and then they have, what is it, Silk?
Yeah.
But there's the Black Cat.
Well, and Black Cat's back and forth.
Silver Sable. I mean, because they have also a movie they're working on, right?
Yeah, Black and Sable.
Black and Sable, yeah.
I tell you what would be interesting. I would love to see, and especially given the arc that this character had in Spider-Man 800, I want to see him do a Flash Thompson movie. Because he would he has a hell of a story. He really does. And he definitely deserves his own deal, for sure.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Because it's.
Do you think they'd still cast that punk kid in Homecoming, though?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I absolutely think that's part of it. Because that is part of Flash's story. He's a bully, but it's because he comes from an abusive family, and then he has to be.
He'd have to get a little bit bigger.
He would.
That kid was a little scrawny for what I imagine Flash Thompson was.
But you could play with that, though. He
was like a different kind of bully than
exactly because he's
stereotypical.
Right. He's not the
jock.
The 60s jock, stuffing the nerd into a locker. He's trying to alpha nerd Peter. And he's, he's going to talk him down. He's going to name call. He's going to degrade him because his situation at home is not great. He's not getting great test scores. So he, pick a parent and one of them, it'd be stereotypical with it if you want to. The mom is looking at him and saying, you have to be smarter. You have to do better. So he's pushing himself. And that's why he's on the quiz team and all this other stuff. And his dad could be the one going, you're too scrawny, you're too skinny, you're not good at sports, blah 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 blah. If you wanted to go that route, you could. And eventually he grows up and runs off, and he could still, you can be a nerd and join the army. Like they that does happen. So you could still keep that intact.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole... They could really do a number with that, and I think they should, because he has a tremendous arc. He really does.
No, I agree, yeah. I wish they did Flash Thompson over Eddie Brock, but I know more people like Eddie Brock. But yeah, Flash Thompson's story, to me, was always just better. I was always a Venom fan, I think what a lot of people were, because they liked his look. But when it wasn't until much later in my life that I actually sat down and read some of the comics, and the Flash stuff, to me, just not having his legs and that being a part of him, the suit and everything and what that meant, when he became Venom and stuff, it was just such a better arc and stuff. So yeah, I totally wish they did Flash Thompson. And that might be Venom 3,
Yeah, it could be. I mean, Flash as Venom is a great hero story. Eddie, and that's why I'm not crazy about the movie they're doing, because Eddie Venom is a villain. He's not. out for redemption. He's out for revenge. And
Yeah.
I have to remember to put that aside. They're doing their own universe. They're doing their own thing. I have to judge this based on its own merit.
Mm-hmm.
But, God, I really, really think that they're missing out on this dynamic. I really do.
Yep. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Well, we got some more movie news. We got some Wonder Woman 1984 first look at Kristen Wiig as Barbara Minerva.
Yeah.
Was released.
Cheetah before she's Cheetah.
Exactly. Yeah. Just looks like she's in the 80s for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
I thought it was cool.
Yeah. Just like I'm like, okay, yeah, this is great. It's a character.
Yep. Jeremy Renner, rumored to cast as Detective Twitch in the Spawn movie.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Sam and Twitch are going to kind of be the grounded focal point of that movie. The way that it looks like it's going to be kind of Spawn told from their perspective. Sort of the way Gotham started in a way. Like it was the Jim Gordon story that kind of had Batman in the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, kind of said, screw all that, we need to focus on 12-year-old Bruce Wayne. But
wasn't Kevin Smith going to do a Sam and Twitch thing?
I'm not sure what's in the works for that. And it may wind up being completely unrelated. Which, fine, whatever.
Man, I'm looking at this picture from him last year, and he looks so different.
I'm telling you what, man, he's lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've never heard of Sam and Twitch, but I never really read Spawn.
They were the detectives, like they were the two guys they were basically the Mulder and Scully. They were like, no, this is some things that's happening, and everybody was like, yeah, sure, okay, whatever.
Right. Did you not see the demon in the red cape?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And the crazy clown that's going around killing people. Oh, man. Okay, so we watched It over the weekend.
Okay.
Have you seen It?
Which one, the original or the new one?
The newer one. We've talked about this before, right?
Yeah, I like the newer one.
Okay, it's a good movie. I'm not scared of clowns, so it's not scary, but it's a good movie. Very well made, suspenseful. I liked it. The best part by far is when they're in the alleyway and they see a missing poster on the wall. And what's cool, also real fast, it shows, because I was trying to figure out what year it was, and it says Batman on the movie theater marquee right behind them. So I'm like, oh, this is like 1989, because it kind of felt like the 50s, but it wasn't. And I guess the whole idea behind that is because it was originally set in the 50s.
Right.
And they set this one in the 80s. And that's why they still had kind of 50 stuff in it to kind of give it that feel. But anyway, the missing poster, it was like this poor kid went missing, and they just stuck it right over the other missing poster of the kid who went missing a month prior.
Yeah.
Nothing else around it. So whoever put this missing kid poster didn't put it to the left of it or to the right of it. They put it over the kid's face. And I kept thinking, how rude is that? Could you imagine seeing one missing poster on a wall and then another kid goes missing, so you just put it right over the other poor kid's face?
Well, and you've got to figure that was part of the influence that it had on the town.
Right. I know, but I just kept thinking, how fucking rude is this person? Like, well, fuck your kid. I'm just gonna put this right over it. Your little freckle faced kid. It's too bad. Like, I was like, oh my god, how rude is that? It took me out for a second, but I don't know. Those kind of movies, you just notice little weird things like that. But I don't know. I thought it was good. I've seen it before, of course, but I just noticed that part stuck out. Oh yeah. But anyway, back where are we at? Okay, so yeah, John Wick. So the third film is Parabellum.
Yeah, John Wick Parabellum.
Well, that's interesting.
I don't know if that's related to anything. The second movie, I still haven't watched it. I want to.
Either.
I'm going to, but
you gotta be in the mood for it, right?
Like I do. I really do.
Yeah, because every once in a while I'm like, oh, that movie came out. Do I need to rent it right now, or am I good? Yeah, and Yeah. And then I'm an idiot and I try to find out like, oh, Pokemon the first movie's on Amazon. Okay. Watch it for 10 minutes and I'm like, no, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I want to, but I can't.
Yeah, know that feeling.
Yeah. Hobbs and Shaw. Idris Elba to play the villain in the Fast and Furious spinoff.
Yeah, think about this, man. The Rock and Jason Statham going after Idris Elba.
I hope he, like all Fast and Furious movies, he becomes good and joins up with them at the end, because I definitely want him a part of the crew. You know that's going to happen. It's the Vegeta of every Fast and Furious movie.
I mean,
I still haven't seen the last one.
I can't recommend it.
No?
It's just... I mean,
they're in New York, right?
They're on ice and in Russia and stuff. Like, there's some of it in New York, but it's like I'm just not crazy about it was fun. It doesn't feel as fun.
Yeah.
It doesn't. And I think part of the drama around everything kind of bled onto the screen.
Oh, it did?
I think. Like, I don't know, it just feels really strained.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel as fun.
Yeah.
Maybe that was just me. I mean, it's definitely not any different. I mean, it's still a Fast and Furious movie, but I don't know. Yeah. It just didn't feel right, and not just because of Paul not being there. I mean, right. There was just something about it that just felt off.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't want to speak ill of the dead. Paul Walker in those movies were never really my draw, if that makes sense. I know everyone loves him. And it fucking sucks what happened. But I think there was always going to be life with that series after him. Even after Vin Diesel, when he calls it quits. He did call it quits, and they continued on without him. So does that make sense? Am I making sense?
Yeah.
That I knew that they were going to continue these movies, and I would have totally been okay with it. But something just didn't draw me. I wanted to see it, I guess, at the time, but I never did. The new one, and I don't know. I mean, after that's what I mean by this, is that when I saw Tokyo Drift, that's the one that got me in, and it didn't even have any of the main people.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I like these guys. Han's awesome. This is cool. And then yeah, so they all came back. Everything was great. I'm curious what the spinoff's going to do, because, yeah, man, behind the scene beef apparently is just out of control. Because then they squashed it at some point. They were on each other's Instagram, or
yeah,
now it's Tyrese more that's mad at The Rock. I don't even know.
Yeah, because Tyrese is somebody who wants to pick a fight with anybody over their career. Right.
Yeah. It seemed like they squashed it, and then I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I don't mind that franchise ending, because I mean it's been 8. I mean, for God's sake.
Well, it's not going to. I mean, that's Universal's cow right now.
Yeah.
That prints more money than any film Universal's making.
That's true.
Yeah, maybe the Jurassic Park series is doing the same numbers, but
I'll tell you what though, man. Fast was it? I don't think it was Fate of the Furious. It might have been Furious 7 that did just massive overseas numbers. I mean huge. It might have been Fate of the Furious that just crushed it overseas, and everybody was kind of like, holy crap. Yeah. Like, it was crazy. Like, it did okay domestic. I'm pretty sure it was Fate of the Furious. Like, it did fine domestically. Like, don't get me wrong, but overseas it just exploded.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, I don't look for there to be a Fast 9, but I think this is how they keep it going, is with the spinoff.
Right.
And it's going to be its own thing now, and who knows? I don't know.
Well, I guess November last year, Tyrese declared that if The Rock's in Fast 9, he's out of it.
Yeah.
So I wonder who the studio is going to choose.
God. Oh, no, we've done this. No. We did this months ago. No, we're not doing this again. Because we came to the same conclusion, and we're going to do it again. And no, I don't have time for this.
Right. Well, what, we got a new Child's Play movie?
Yeah, MGM is apparently going to reboot it. The guy who did Quantum Break, the video game, And Kung Fury, Tyler Burton Smith, is doing the script. Interestingly, though, Lars Klevberg is directing it. He directed a film called Polaroid, which was supposed to come out last August. And it has not been released. It's done. I'm pretty sure it's a distribution thing.
And for those who don't know Child's Play, it's Chucky.
It's Chucky, yeah.
Yeah. Most people know him by that now, I think, than Child's Play.
Well, because it's all, like, I mean, eventually it became, Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky.
Right.
Like, it became synonymous with that.
Right. Yeah.
Which was fine. Hey, cool, whatever. So, I mean, who knows what they're going to call it, but...
Yeah.
I don't know. I definitely think you could find new life in this franchise, because dolls are creepy.
Dolls are creepy.
So, I mean, there's no shortage of, like, oh, yeah, we can do a horror movie on this, no problem.
Yeah. I think you do it a little bit like... You gotta be careful, because Annabelle was kind of in the same category, but that spin-off sucked, but it was great in The Conjuring.
And now, I'll tell you what, though, the sequel was fantastic.
Oh, I never saw the sequel.
The one that was technically a prequel.
Is it on Netflix?
I don't think so.
It's on Amazon, maybe?
It might be. It's got to be on something.
Okay.
You can check.
Google it.
Yeah, Annabelle Creation. Because the Annabelle spin-off, which was a prequel to The Conjuring, was not great. Annabelle Creation, which is a prequel to The Conjuring, was actually really creepy. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Okay.
It's kind of like the Ouija movies. The first Ouija movie was crap. The second one was kind of creepy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird like that.
Yeah, I never seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, Annabelle Creation. Yeah, it was actually really good.
So Jim Carrey got a role.
Man, I don't.
Talks.
Oh my god, this makes my head hurt.
Why? I think he'd play a great Dr. Robotnik.
I think this is awful. I don't know, something about it. I don't know. That's the thing, is like there's nothing about this that looks wrong. I just saw this and I immediately just thought, oh my god.
I love it.
I don't know.
Sonic Sonic has a weird history with video games, and its fan base is fun.
We're a weird bunch. I'll give you that.
Weird bunch.
Yeah.
I like this idea. I think it's just crazy enough to work. I mean, who else would play Dr. Robotnik? I could totally see. Plus, it's part animation, part real life. So I don't know if Dr. Robotnik's going to be animated and voiced by Jim Carrey, or if it's literally going to be Jim Carrey with a big mustache.
You know who I would kind of like to see do this?
Who?
J.K. Simmons.
Oh yeah, no, he'd be great.
I would love to see him as Dr. Robotnik. But yeah, I think you have to have a little more kind of screwball comedy to it.
Yeah, no, I do. You have to. And Sonic is beloved by a lot of people, even though there's the jokes and stuff like that. People, I think, are gonna go see this movie. Like, it's Sonic the Hedgehog live action movie.
It's a big to do, and I don't know, man. I don't know. Something about, like, as soon as I saw this, I was having Mask flashbacks, and I was like, as much as I enjoyed that
Mario flashbacks, it can't be that bad as Mario. I don't think it can be that bad. So I don't know. We're gonna get a Detective Pikachu movie, and you know how I feel about that.
That's gonna be Super Mario bad. I'll grant you that.
Oh my god, I just want a normal Pokemon movie. I want a Pokemon movie where they take it a little bit seriously and it's awesome and you can have all the fun and all that stuff in it, but...
Oh, come on, what's more serious than a hard-boiled Detective Pikachu voiced by Ryan Reynolds? I mean, come on.
It's not the direction... Oh my, I'm still mad.
If there was ever anything they should have fixed in the Deadpool post-credits scene, it should have been that.
Yes. Oh my god. Detective Pikachu. The first live-action film, we're going to get Detective Pikachu. Oh, it's frustrating. Oh, my God. Anyway.
Yeah, well, here's some uplifting news.
Yes. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Noir is going to be voiced by Nicolas Cage.
Because why not?
Perfect. I think that's great.
God.
I think it's fantastic. He's also going to be Superman in Teen
Titans. I know.
And that movie looks fantastic.
I will tell you what. I knew nothing about Teen Titans Go. like I knew like, oh, it's cutesy kitty whatever. I'll tell you what, those trailers are hilariously meta.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
have enjoyed them, and I'm like, you know what? I will go see this. I will absolutely go see this movie
Yeah.
because I think it's just going to be stupid fun.
Oh, it will. It looks like so much fun. They got little Yachty as Green Lantern.
Ay,
Oh my
ay,
God.
ay.
Like that's so what? What is going on? Like it's perfect. It's so completely different that it's perfect. I love that. I absolutely love that. I I went from when I heard that was announced, I was like, oh, okay. I've never seen that show. I heard a lot of people don't like it because they want the more serious Teen Titans, and it was just a blimp in the radar. And then when I saw that trailer, I was like, okay, they know exactly what this thing is.
Yeah,
And
because the whole point of the movie is about them trying to get a movie.
I kept asking my like people that were mad. I'm like, this looks funny. Like, how is this what the show's like? Because actually this could be funny, you know. And they were like, no, the movie looks a little bit more like they are very in on the joke and they're just running with it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah, the show is not like here's the thing. I don't like the show not because I'm 29 years old and it's a kids
Mm,
show. Like I look
right.
at this and I'm like, okay, this is just not it's just not really good.
Okay.
I'm sure I bet kids like it and that's great. But
Right.
there's not like it's really simple. Like the
You know
part
what I heard was really good?
what?
Was it Steven Universe?
Man, I have been hearing that forever, and I don't know. Like, the Rick and Morty fans have kind of ruined the idea of getting back into cartoons for me.
Well, Rick and Morty's good. Don't let the fan base fool you.
That's what I hear, but
You
it's
gotta
tough.
separate the fan
I,
base. If I didn't like the fan base, I wouldn't like Star Wars anymore.
That's very true. That's a good
Right.
point. That's a
Because
good point.
that fan base toxic as shit, but they'll never put a wedge between me and. But the thing is, I already like Star Wars, so I totally understand what you're saying. Like, if I didn't see Rick and Morty before all of that mess went down,
Yeah.
I would steer clear from it. But I'm glad I saw it before it went to hell. Um, and I'm excited for the new episodes. It's one of those things where it's like, that's a show I'll enjoy and watch, but I will never go on the internet and talk about.
That's fair. That's a fair point. I get
Yeah.
that.
And Steven Universe, from what I hear, I mean, IGN, I saw an article today that compared it to Avatar.
That was what I saw today too, and I was like, but
Yeah.
I've been hearing that kind of talk for a while now.
Yeah. That it's a different tier of animation where like and that's the funny thing, the animation looks goofy, but apparently has a lot of heart.
It's the same animation
Excuse
style
me.
as everything else right now. Like
Right, right.
that's another turnoff for me. Is like, oh, it looks like they've just used the same templates as everything else. Like everything's the same shape and the faces all look the same, and I'm just like, yeah.
The thing is, though, it's very generational, and I
That's
think
true.
that's just the time. I imagine when He-Man came out, people were probably like, "This looks like everything else on TV right now." You know what I mean? Like, I imagine if you look at animation throughout the years, there's a very specific look for each. I mean, think about all of the comic book animated shows that we watched as a kid. They almost all look the same. Batman had a lot of style to it, but X-Men, Spider-Man, they all look the exact same.
Well, and there's a thing. There's something to be said between continuity within a studio or an animator. I mean, Dexter's Lab and Powerpuff Girls were both Tartakovsky. I'm totally butchering his last name. Animations, so they look similar.
There's that artist, but there's also the people around them that are imitating it as well.
Right.
Like animation, like for example with anime, Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon isn't that far off from it. But look at Pokemon 20 years later. And remember I was talking about how the animation just looks completely different?
True.
It's because it is.
Yeah.
It's completely changed. Even the Dragon Ball Super stuff has changed their animation. I guess that's what I mean is that it's kind of like music with like rap. Like people don't like the new rap, but there's a whole generation that absolutely eats it up.
True. There's always you can always tell you can tell an era by a sound. Like if you
Yeah.
put on 80s music, so much of it sounds the same. And
Right.
it's just and I don't mean that, it is.
Mhm.
It's a style thing. It's not a negative of like, oh my god, it all sounds exactly the same. It's like, no, you can recognize certain elements. If you put on a hip hop track and it starts with the same kind of kick drum and a record scratch, you're like, oh,
Right.
this is early 90s.
Right,
Like
right, exactly.
you can just immediately, you're like, I know what era this is from. I know what part of the decade this is from.
And you know the early 2000 Eminem, Dr. Dre, and all of that.
Yeah,
And nowadays, if you put on something, everything's going to sound like Migos and Post Malone.
exactly.
And so I guess that's what I'm saying is that with the animation is, it might take a moment to catch it, but from what I hear, it's got a ton of heart, and that's what I liked about Adventure Time. Is that's a show that I would have never watched in a million years, but someone was like, you have to sit down there and watch it, and I loved it. I thought this I could sit and watch this with a kid and not be bored out of my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. And then Rick and Morty was just, to me, it was this, man, I got to be careful what I say here, because anything I say is going to sound like those Rick and Morty fans. I thought Family Guy was very lazy with their jokes. I loved Family Guy, but it was very, South Park did an episode that kind of mocked it, where they were like, you just insert in 3 random things. Like, oh my God, it's like that time that Mel Gibson, was my waiter at Steak and Shake. You know what I mean? Like that. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay, so Family Guy, you've seen Family Guy, right?
I get the like that. That was kind of my joke. It was like, I get what you're saying, but no, it doesn't make any sense.
Right. So that's how this is. Rick and Morty is not like that. There's a lot of comparisons of Family Guy, but there's none of that kind of humor. I don't want to say smart, because that's what every fucking Rick and Morty fan says. But I don't know. It's funny on a different level, kind of like how Futurama is, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying that in like a snobby way, but it made me laugh. Does that make sense?
There's
Am I making any sense here?
There are different kinds and tiers of humor. Yeah, like that's,
right.
Yeah.
Right, and I liked that. There's a new Simpsons show, or the creator of The Simpsons, it's coming out on Netflix. Have you seen this?
I've heard about it. Yeah, I don't really have any interest in it.
Yeah, I definitely want to check it out, because I loved The Simpsons. I'm into animation. I want to watch more of it. But yeah, I don't know. I want to check it out. Anyway, let's get back to where were we?
The Top Gun sequel.
Top Gun sequel, yeah.
Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, Miles Teller was cast as Goose's son, as Maverick's protege. So, okay. I have no interest in that movie.
I really don't either.
Yeah. Edgar Wright teases Baby Driver 2 is in the works.
Yeah, he loves doing that. He has fun with that.
Yeah. Legendary Pictures and Sunrise co-producing live-action Gundam film.
Yeah, that was kind of a big bombshell in a way.
Yeah, I mean, you had to know that was happening after Ready Player One when it went up, and it was like, damn. Gundam.
Oh yeah, because people lost their minds. They were like, "Oh my god, Gundam!" And it I'm sure it reignited that kind of passion, because it's been, God, what's Gundam been? 40 years now.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy, and they're still making anime.
Yep.
Like, I mean, they've had, I don't even know how many they've had now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep, absolutely. It's kind of like this is gonna sound really stupid. It's like when I saw the trailer for Austin Powers 3, or was it the second one? And it was the Death Star, like all destroyed, and they were playing like Star Wars like music, but then you found out they were like the sequel to the most, anticipated movie in years, and it looked like Star Wars, but then like it was an Austin Powers trailer, and I kept thinking, fucking A, I want to see Star Wars, and lo and behold, it was like, it was one for, episode 1 or whatever that started coming out after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what seeing that in the theater, you're just like, this is a fucking tease. I need to see the real thing. uh, um, let's see here. We got Backyard Legend. Winston Duke cast as Kimbo Slice in a biopic.
Yeah, good for Winston.
Yeah.
He's definitely the right build for this, and I think I do think he was a great choice for this.
Yep, absolutely.
Absolutely. We've got a couple pieces of breaking news. I'll do the good news. You do the news that's gonna make me pull my hair out. July 9th, 2021, Indiana Jones 5.
Okay.
So
cool.
It's a full year after it was supposed to be out.
Well, hopefully that means it's going to be better.
Yeah.
Than what it was originally going to be, but yeah. We got also Walking Phoenix is going to be Joker. Cast in the prequel Joker movie. Why? What, do you like this?
I don't like this. I like Joaquin Phoenix sometimes. I don't think this is a good role for him. I don't think he's a good choice for this. I don't know.
Why don't you think so? I think he'd be perfect for the Joker.
I don't see it.
Oh, I totally see it.
I don't know.
You don't think that he can be a method actor that could act a little crazy?
Oh, I'm sure he can do crazy. Like, I mean,
we've seen him do crazy.
I don't know. There's just something about it I don't like. Something about it doesn't stick with me. I don't know.
I mean, the whole thing doesn't stick with me. I don't know why we're making 2 Joker movies. I mean,
well, because there's 3 Jokers.
Yeah, I'm sure that. The thing is he's not young. So how is this going to be a prequel?
That's my other problem. Is like Joaquin Phoenix is not he's not.
Jared Leto is much older. They're much younger than him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Younger looking and everything.
I don't know. But I mean, here's the thing. As a Joker, like, I'll buy a Joker in his mid-30s. Like,
totally.
You get Joaquin Phoenix down to looking like he could pass for mid-30s. Okay, I'll call that an origin movie. I'm okay with that. I don't mind him starting out a little older. I'm all right with that.
I mean, he really does remind me of Heath Ledger. Like, he's going to be closer to Heath Ledger, I think, than, Jared Leto.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jared Leto's Joker doesn't exist as far as I'm concerned. But that wasn't the Joker. That was a fake.
He's like a Post Malone Joker. Like, he's the Joker for the new generation. I like Post Malone. I shouldn't put him in there.
I was gonna say, like, he's okay. Jared Leto's Joker is like the Lil Wayne Joker.
Yeah, he's a millennial Joker.
Which is why he needs to die.
Yeah. No, I agree, but we're going to be getting more of him, man. We're getting more.
No, don't go see that one.
Yeah.
Nobody goes see the... I'm sorry, I like Jared Leto. I really do. And I don't blame him, because it's not his fault that they made all of these horrible character choices.
Mm-hmm.
But just...
It says damaged on his forehead.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you need to know about that character. It's man, I keep saying Post Malone, but it's he's got Always Tired written beneath his eyes now. Did you see that?
No.
He is tattooed Always Tired beneath his eyes, and on his left eye above it says go away. It's the perfect tattoos, because that's exactly how I feel most of the time.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there's that news. We got some TV news. Showtime picks up series of Halo, first season to be 10 episodes long, each episode an hour long. I think, they've done this so many times with different networks. I will believe it once I see it, it's being made.
Well, that's the thing. Halo was shopped around so far. Like, it was in talks at HBO, and then that didn't work. And then it was in talks at Showtime for a while, and then it wasn't. And then they kind of pitched it to Starz, but Starz balked.
It was it was supposed to be Xbox's big thing with Spielberg, and that fell through.
Yeah, well, it's still coming from Amblin, though.
Right.
Like, they're still working together on it, but it's not... they did kind of pitch that idea of like, we're gonna do this ourselves, and that's not gonna happen.
Right.
But yeah, I'll tell you what though, Showtime now has Halo and The Name of the Wind.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget. I mean,
Yep.
Showtime is building itself quite a slate if it ever decides to actually make either of these series.
That's the thing. It's like, okay, we picked up these things, make them.
Yes,
Give
just
them to HBO. Jesus.
yeah, because the guy at AT&T, who's now going to be kind of in charge of HBO, whose name I don't have in front of me, basically told everybody at HBO, you need to make more content to compete with Netflix. And they came back and said, look, our motto isn't more is better, it's better is better.
Right.
To which he responded, well, then you need to make more better. So, say goodbye to the end of good HBO programming after Game of Thrones. Like, it's going to be garbage because AT&T's going to screw it up.
I have a feeling that's exactly what's going to happen with HBO.
Yeah, it's all going to be AT&T's fault. And what you're gonna see is a lot of people, as soon as this starts happening, people are gonna leave HBO in droves. They're gonna say, you know what, screw this, I'll go somewhere else. And they will.
Yep. They absolutely will. Oh yeah. Got some DC Universe news. First details released. Some of the original series are gonna be Titans, Doom Patrol, Swamp Thing, Harley Quinn, and Young Justice. That's a fucking lineup.
Yeah, the adult-oriented animated Harley Quinn series, Young Justice Season 3, which I think is called Outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I mean, Titans we know, Doom Patrol was a good call.
That's the one I'm most interested in.
Yeah, I'm really interested in Swamp Thing. I want it to be like a horror noir kind of series. Yep. I want it to be like that.
They need to dive into the red and the green. I want Animal Man and Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that needs to be in there. We got their library is going to include Superman 1 through 4, 70s Wonder Woman series, Batman the Animated Series.
Sold.
That's right there.
Sold. Done. Right there.
Yeah. Certain DCEU films, Justice League, Flashpoint Paradox, Green Lantern, First Flight, Wonder Woman.
One thing I should say about Batman the Animated Series, because you can watch it on Amazon.
Okay.
But on DC Universe, it's gonna be in like HD quality.
Okay, it's not on Amazon HD.
No, it's just
usually HD.
It's just the DVD quality. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong, but it's gonna be really pretty.
Get the 720 off my television.
Yeah, I know,
Just
right?
kidding. No, the
60 frames a second. 60 frames a second.
Right. What would put the icing on the cake of this is if with the application you had a like a Marvel Now type program.
What do you mean?
Where you can actually read comics and you can go back and go through the Justice League run and all the famous Batman runs and stuff like that.
Read your next bullet point.
Oh, hey.
They are Dan DiDio talked about how this is going to include a rotating collection of comics.
Read my mind.
There you go. The idea is it's not going to be their whole library. It's not going to be like Marvel Unlimited, which is basically just all of Marvel.
That's okay. A selection of rotating is perfectly fine.
Yeah, and it's going to be more of like, here's the stuff that's out now, here's the stuff that inspired it kind of deal. It's like, hey, you want to catch up? Hey, here's where Doom Patrol started. Here's the seminal Doom Patrol stuff. Hey, we've got a new Wonder Woman movie coming out. Check out these essential Wonder Woman runs. That kind of thing. And
here's the first volume of Doom Patrol.
Right.
Or like the modern first volume, I mean.
Exactly. And I am totally fine with this. I think this works. I don't mind it not being all of DC because, oh my god, I would never know where to start.
Yeah.
I would be so lost because there is so much DC. Oh my god.
Yeah. There's a lot of Marvel too, though.
There is a ton of Marvel, but I
find I don't know. I guess because I grew up with Marvel more, that's there's so much there that I want to unpack.
There's, yeah, don't get me wrong, there's a ton of Marvel, but when you can look for Action Comics 1000,
Yeah. No, I mean, I get that. Yeah.
that's where I'm just like, okay, this is too much.
Well, I think our age, there is, you know, it was rough. I mean, I went back to X-Men. I didn't go all the way through. You went all the way through with Spider-Man.
I did.
Those are some rough years at the beginning, right?
You're not kidding, man.
I can't even imagine going before that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, back to the because I mean, Action Comics dates back to the 30s, right?
Yeah, it's just that kind of stuff to me is unpractical. I get it if you grew up with the Golden Age stuff, and that's like stuff that you're like, oh, I could go back and read that. That's great. That's not what I could do. You know, I mean, I'm having fun reading the Ultimates and stuff like that, like stuff that's just 15 years old or something, or stuff that's in the 90s and or weird stuff in the 80s and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm having a blast with it, and I'm gonna love that as well because there's a lot of DC stuff that I don't have. I have a ton of the new stuff. Like if you lived in Florida, you were near me, you could totally pick up any of my new stuff and you'd be good. But there's a lot of old DC stuff that I just never read.
Yeah.
Basically everything before New 52, Batman aside, because I've read a ton of Batman stuff before New 52. But besides that, I can't think of, besides the events, I never really picked up monthly Superman or monthly anything except Batman.
Yeah.
And the main, and the Crisis and stuff like that.
Yeah. And that's fair.
Yeah.
Because there is a ton. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Just Action Comics has 1,000 issues. That's not to mention how many different spin-off Superman books there were.
Right.
That went for hundreds of issues on their own. Like, I mean, that's insane.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's getting a beta next month. So
I didn't get into that beta.
Yeah, right. But there have been there was no price announced or a hard launch date or anything like that. But I'm thinking Aquaman.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm betting around that time.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what, Thanksgiving, Christmas, I forget.
Yeah.
Something towards the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, Thanksgiving. Never mind. I was gonna say I'm filling my collection of Pokemon Go for that new game. Because I think it's coming around that time, right? November?
Yeah, early November, I think. Yeah.
Oh, early November, yeah. Woo, can't wait. Let's get into some games. We got the PlayStation Plus games. Heavy Rain, Absolver, Rayman 3 HD, Extreme Exorcism, Space Overlords, Zero Escape, Zero Time Dilemma for the Vita. Pretty good games this month.
Yeah, not bad. There was a little hiccup for Heavy Rain for a little bit because they released the wrong version.
Oh, okay.
Because it was the one that they had released was the version that had been digitally packaged with Beyond Two Souls.
Oh, that's
so
funny.
if you had bought if you had Beyond Two Souls, it was like, well, you can't download Heavy Rain because you should already have it. They were like, but we don't, and so they had to change that up, and it's fine now.
Oh, okay.
But it was a weird thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But yet, not a bad, not a big game list this month. Because Heavy Rain is very much more interactive story. And obviously, it's to play into Detroit Become Human coming out recently.
Right.
But I think if you want games, quote unquote, I think Games with Gold has the better list this month.
Oh yeah, we'll go ahead and read them.
Because for Xbox One, you get Assault Android Cactus for the whole month, and then Death Squared, which you can pick up anytime from July 16th through August 15th. The backwards compatible games, though, are where you really get into it. Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown. I don't say I'm a huge Virtua Fighter fan, but like whenever I see a new one, I just have to play it. And then I realize, oh yeah, I really suck at this, but they're fun. I don't know. Like, Virtua Fighter has always been something that I've always, like, really enjoyed, but I never really got into.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe that's why I still really enjoy it, is because I never, like, sunk into it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Makes sense.
And the other backwards compatible game, and that's for July 1st through 15th. And the other one that you can pick up the back half of the month is Splinter Cell Conviction, which was great. It was so good. So that's a must-have for sure.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't have an Xbox, but I guess I can get this on the PC, right?
Probably. I don't know how the 360 games work on crossplay. I don't know how some of the Xbox One games work on crossplay.
Gotcha.
Because I know the crossplay works with, or whatever it is they call it, works with first party titles. I do know that, but I don't know about like third party games.
Did you see that Nintendo wants to release 20 to 30 indie games on the Switch per week now?
That's insane.
Yeah.
What?
Per week. Nintendo has come out and said that during their 78th annual shareholder meeting at the end of last month, that they would like to come out with about 20 to 30 indie games per week on the Switch.
God.
It's a lot of games.
That's App Store level.
Yeah, it's what's kind of got me worried.
Yeah, like that's... no. 20 to 30 games per month would even still be stretching it.
Yep. It's yeah, and the way you go through their store I hate. So this is just going to drown other games.
Yeah,
when you got like Chicken Little the kicker, and Doodles the jumper, and Poo Poo Pie Millionaire. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna get all these weird App Store level games. You're absolutely right, and then it's gonna be like, wait, where's Octopath Traveler?
Oh, it's on page 6.
Right, like the games that are like, man, that game's getting fantastic reviews.
I'll bet.
All the people that have been playing it just fucking love it.
Nice.
That comes out soon too. It comes out next week.
Yeah, I think so.
Also, 2K, WWE 2K is skipping the Switch.
That's a good call.
Yes, because of the disaster of the last one.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, well, we can't. All they really need to do is make like a, the older Nintendo 64 style games for the Switch, and I would eat those up.
I would be okay. I think everybody else would too. Like have a second team do Switch exclusive WWE games. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, and make it arcadey, make it fun. I'd play those over those 2K games any day. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm getting 2K19, but I'm with you. Like, I loved All-Stars. Mm-hmm. All-Stars was like a PS3 title that was just ridiculous, over-the-top, goofy arcade.
Oh, yeah.
And I played the crap out of that.
Yep.
And I would do that, have one, your main team does the 2K games for everything else, but you've got your other fun team doing arcade games for the Switch. I think that's a brilliant idea, because those would sell.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Those would totally sell.
Yeah. We got some Disney news this week. You want to go ahead and take it?
Yeah, okay. So, Disney was in this deal was going through court, and it cleared all the antitrust hurdles. There aren't going to be any problems, blah blah blah. Disney has to sell. Well, when this deal goes through, Disney will have to sell all of there's 22 Fox regional sports networks. I know in Florida it's was it Fox Sun Sports, I think. Mm-hmm. We've got like mid South or Southeast or whatever, but they're all there's like Fox New York and Fox Chicago and like Fox Big Ten or whatever the hell. It's all those little ones, so they're gonna have to be sold off. Probably to because they own ABC. That's why they have to sell them off. I don't know who's gonna buy them. I don't care. So that'll be a thing. And
so what about Fox Network, as in the TV, like The Simpsons and stuff like that?
Okay, what's going to happen with that is all of that is included in this deal. because because the studios are included. What's not are the actual like physical stations.
Okay.
So the company that will become New Fox, which is going to be basically it's going to be Fox Business, Fox News, and Fox Sports.
Okay.
Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports 2. They will also own physically the Fox network. But all of the Fox studios are going to be sold.
Okay.
Like 20 what is it? 21st Century Fox and 20th Century Fox are sold. Like all of the production studios, the assets, all that stuff. I think they're hanging on to some of the real estate. So like yes, they're selling The Simpsons, but they're not like it's like that kind of stuff is weird.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. I'm sure there are things in place, blah blah blah.
Can they legally have? Well, I guess because CBS or was it NBC owns also the CW.
NBC doesn't own CW. Here's the thing: the three major networks, ABC, CBS, and Fox, have to stay separate. That's the way that works. Those are the only ones that are protected.
Oh, Fox isn't protected.
Well, Fox is one of them.
Huh. Wait a second. There's CBS, NBC, ABC.
Oh, maybe it is Fox. Yeah, maybe Fox was another one. But there's because there
was the big three, and then Fox came along.
Right, and Fox. I think Fox is another one that wound up being included. Right.
Okay.
So
but they're not separate anymore because ABC is owned by Disney and so is Fox.
Well, but the Fox networks will not be owned by Disney.
How does that work?
Because it's the actual channel, the actual broadcasting. That's what I was looking for. The Fox Broadcasting Network will not be owned by ABC. That's why they struck a huge deal with...
But the shows on it are.
Yes, which is perfectly fine.
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's why...
Kind of like how the Fox show is on ABC right now, right?
Right, there's a couple of them that are like produced by other companies, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so it's just going to be... It's technically going to be Disney shows on the Fox network.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Makes sense now.
yeah, it's hard. Man, I hated like a month ago when I was going through that deal and I was like, okay, I don't really understand any of this, but I get some key phrases here. And then, that day Comcast is like, oh, by the way, we made a deal. Well, this is crap. So last week when the new deal came and I'm looking through it and I'm like, most of this is still the same. Some yabo is suing to block the deal because it doesn't talk about what's going to happen with Hulu. If there's ever anybody I wanted to see railroaded out of town, but I'm just like, I'll tell you what's going to happen with Hulu. I'm not even an industry expert, and I'll tell you, Disney is going to own 2/3 of Hulu. Comcast is going to look at this and go, well, this is a bad deal for us. We're just going to sell our third, and ABC is going to own Hulu.
Right.
And probably use it, and probably cannibalize some of it and turn it into either fold it into the Disney streaming app or make it like a companion app.
Yeah, I would just make it the Disney app.
I mean,
we renamed it. We got new Star Wars shows.
Yeah.
You're going to be losing a lot of stuff that was with whatever, but just cannibalize it. Make it easy so I'm not paying another freaking however much money a month. It's easier for people to keep Hulu than I think add an extra app.
Yeah. And I don't know. We'll see how that pans out. But yeah, that's how that's going to go. And they're like, well, what about the debt? What about Sky Sports? I don't care. Yeah. I don't give a damn what happens with Sky Sports. I don't care if they sell it off or what they do, because that's over there. I don't care. I know people with who are much deeper invested do, and that's fine. But like, this does not concern me.
I just want the deal to be done.
Yeah, they're meeting. They're meeting in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from Friday. Because they don't want to give Comcast enough time to try to get another deal together, but I think they will. I fully expect them to have some form of counter offer by next. I think we'll be talking about it on next week's show.
So why are they waiting 2 weeks and not doing it tomorrow?
I think there's a legal or contractual thing. I think they have to wait because the deal was printed on June 28th, and the shareholder meeting is set for July 27th. I think that's a legal thing. I think they have to have at least a month.
Right.
I think. Now, I don't know the law on this. I'm sure somebody out there could. I'm sure it's probably a fairly simple question for people who know these things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's because they have to give shareholders enough notice to cast a vote.
Right.
I think that's why. And
Gotcha.
I think it's a month, and I don't think they. I really think if they could have pushed it further, they would have.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm pretty sure Fox, for as much as it's going to be great that they're getting all this extra money, I think they need this deal to be done.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
absolutely.
I think Comcast makes an. I think we're talking about another Comcast offer next week. I do.
Yeah. And
that's gonna suck, but you know.
Yeah, it's just gonna prolong the inevitable.
Yeah.
You can fight it, run from it. I'm not gonna do the rest. Destiny fun. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, you get it. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen.
And here's an interesting thought, and I'm just throwing this out there because I want to jinx this whole process. Sorry. The thing is, Comcast, for their last deal, reached out to investment banks and was like, because we're going to buy all this outright and do what we want with it. Comcast may start looking to partners and saying, hey, look, if you join on this deal with us, you get to pick which of these properties you want. I think that's how they entice the big money. Mm-hmm. Google, Facebook, Apple. I think that's how they get the tech boys to come to the table.
They're not gonna. No, Apple's not gonna play with Comcast.
It's a thought. It's a thought. It's a way for them to say, hey, look, partner with us on this deal, and you get The Simpsons.
I could see Google doing that, but not Apple.
No.
No. Apple wouldn't go anywhere near that. They don't have to. Apple could buy Comcast.
So then why don't they?
If they wanted to.
It's kind of a curious thought to me of where, they're dipping their toes in the streaming water. I get why Facebook's doing it, because Facebook is not on tremendously trustworthy ground right now.
Right.
But I'm like, right. I mean, Apple has been around and will be around, because, I mean, they're going to sell iPhones, if nothing else, forever.
Oh, yeah. And you see them in the media literally fighting the government for your privacy.
Exactly.
So, like, they have a different reputation than, Google or a lot of these companies, Comcast especially.
Yeah, not a lot of people high up on Comcast.
Oh, yeah, no. Apple's been number one in customer service for the last 16 years.
Damn.
And that's why I think a lot of people go to them, because if your phone breaks and you have a Samsung, you're not calling, you're not walking into a store. You're not calling a specific group of people. Apple, you have Apple Care. You have people 24/7 around the clock to help you, here in the United States, and then they can guide you to go into a store if you want, or Best Buy. They have just a completely, I'm shocked that Apple did not get in the mix of this, because they're building their own studios right now. They're working with Spielberg to bring back his anthology series.
I would have thought this would have been a no-brainer. Here's a company, Fox is selling everything. Mm-hmm. If you're a company that has more money than God, why would you not look at this and go, hey, Fox is selling Fox is basically selling a build-your-own studio kit.
Yeah, no, I would not be surprised if they were not secretly in the mix, and there were behind the scene conversations, but who knows, man? I couldn't tell you. I'm shocked that those kind of companies haven't got into that. But then you are getting into weird territory. We're in such weird territory now with
That's true.
with cable companies buying up these brands with ISPs buying up the brands now, and now tech companies are starting the mix. And now with, oh man, just the way the laws are now, it's so willy-nilly. I saw that AT&T bumped everyone's prices $2
Yeah.
to pay for what they just did, which totally a few months ago would have been against the law.
Yeah.
So, as much as I would love to see Apple do something like that, I don't know if I would. Like, it's because then what does that mean? You're going to get these movies and everything on your Apple devices for a cheaper price than someone with an Android? Probably. That's probably what would happen. And is that a good thing? I don't think so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be a weird territory that I think would make people a little bit uneasy. I think if Apple created their own thing, which is what they're doing, it's different.
Agreed.
It's like, here's our own stuff. But if they're like, okay, now we own the X-Men, that could, no matter what's going to happen, it's going to make some people mad. And maybe they looked at that. I don't know, but I agree with you. They, they had every opportunity to pick up a studio that was just ready to be like, okay, we already got all this history and we're ready to go and we got all these franchises. It seems like a no-brainer, but I don't know.
Yeah, some people high up looked at this and said, this is not a deal for us.
Right.
Fair.
We'll do our own thing. We'll get, people in, I'm thinking, but.
And I wonder if it was an infrastructure thing. If it was just looking at the manpower it takes to run studios, and they're looking at this and saying, we don't know enough about this yet.
Very true. And Apple, if anything, is about control over their product and their message. And that's a whole, to buy something like that up is a whole, it's something like what Google would do, I guess, because they've been buying stuff up too.
Yeah,
Google and Microsoft. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I guarantee in the next year or two, Apple's going to have its own little, okay, on our Apple TV, you're going to have an application where you can watch these shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's called iTunes.
Yeah, you're right. Duh.
They kind of did it first.
Well, that's true.
In a lot of ways.
That's true. I'm shocked they don't have a television that you can just go buy.
Man, there have been talks about that forever.
Yeah.
They have been saying that forever because, Samsung has smart TVs, Roku has TVs. I'm with you. I wonder why. Clearly Apple's looked at this and said, nope, it's better to have the peripheral.
Yeah.
To have an Apple TV than to have an Apple television set.
And I doubt I could ever afford one, but people would eat it up.
Oh, yeah. And they don't have to be that pricey.
Right.
A Samsung Smart TV is what, $300?
Yeah, but these would not be $300.
No, but still, they're not going to be, okay, fine, $1,000.
Yeah, I think they would. Yeah, that's right around the price. I think probably for the
people pay that for TVs.
Oh, they would. They absolutely would.
And
well, first of all, for it to be the first Apple television, like real television, it'd be sold out for a while.
It would, and I would never buy it just because I would wait for the next model. Like I'm not a first model guy. Give me the second one once you've worked everything out.
Right, once you've worked out the kinks. Absolutely. Yeah. No, yeah, that's I think that's the next step. For them, who knows? I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I would love that.
Yeah, I just hate that now that Time Warner is owned by AT&T, you just know that Batman is gonna start having AT&T products.
Yeah,
like you know it. You can see it, and it sucks. It sucks so bad.
And if you have AT&T now, you get free HBO Go.
Yeah, which is great, and also part of the death of net neutrality.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, we live in a fucking crazy time.
It's I don't know.
Yeah. Do we have time to talk about Incredibles 2 or Jurassic World?
Let's talk about them. I want to talk real quick about how MoviePass got what it deserved this weekend, real quick.
Okay.
So they rolled out surge pricing this week, and then they lost service on Friday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it tanked. You couldn't use it. Like it died. Like the service died on Friday. when people wanted to go see, the new Marvel movie that came out. So what MoviePass was telling people, and I swear to God I'm not making this up, this is why MoviePass is going... This is why I don't feel bad anymore that MoviePass is skidding very quickly towards bankruptcy. They were telling people, go ahead and buy your tickets, and we will come up with a process to refund you.
Okay.
And I was just like, that is going to be abused so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna lose even more money, and you kinda deserve it.
Yeah.
I'm so done with this. Like, I will use this service until it breathes its last.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my God, I am over this.
Yeah.
It was a great idea that they never figured out fully. They didn't. They did not have this game planned, and they're paying the price for it.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is, companies like Alamo and AMC are building an empire on its grave.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing it better and smarter. And that's part of, it's true, that's how this happens. Somebody does it, and somebody else comes along and does it better. But, did they just tank this so hard?
Yeah, they shit the bed with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I go see the movie this week, it's definitely going to be during the day, nowhere near the 7 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
So hopefully no surge pricing.
Oh, yeah. So what'd you think of The Incredible 2?
I loved it.
2.
I really did. I thought it was fantastic. I guess spoiler warning from here till the end of the show.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. So many people, and I had this happen to me last night, are so mad about Bao. I have seen this happen, and it drives me crazy.
Wait, why?
Because they're white people complaining about this. They're like,
Wait,
I had a guy come out and who was like, I don't know, like, I came to see Incredibles, what is this Japanese crap?
Oh, okay, you're talking about the animation before.
The short. Yeah, I'm talking about the Pixar short.
Oh, I loved it.
It's gorgeous, and it's adorable, and it's so full of heart, and I love it to death. And
it freaked me out when she ate him.
I know.
Fast.
Oh my God. Like...
But I think that was the idea, and then you oh, okay, I see what's happening here.
Right, sure. And here's the thing, because I didn't know it was a metaphor until the end.
Right.
Because it's like, okay, the dumpling came to life. Sure, it's Pixar. Why not?
Right. That's what everyone thought.
Yeah. And then she ate him, and I loved...
The kid was horrified in the theater. Screamed.
I'll bet. Because everybody around me, because the showing I went to was mostly adults, so all I heard was, "The fuck was that?
Right.
What just happened?"
Yeah, I looked at who I came with, and we both looked at each other like exactly what you said. Like, what the fuck? How do we explain this?
It's like, oh my God, she ate it. And then, you get to the end, and you're like, oh, I understand now.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. It was great.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
And then you got to the movie, and I thought it was so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so perfect. Like, it was... I found very few problems with this movie. Like, the problems that I have were nits that I think are too small to pick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I really enjoyed it. It was just so much pure fun.
I did too, yeah. I loved Mr. Incredible in this, just to see the point of view of him being a dad. Now, I've completely forgotten the first one, because it's been so long since I've seen it.
Yeah, I had to go back and rewatch.
Yeah, I have no idea. I remember who was it? Who's the bad guy? Was what's his face? Jason Brody, right? Or no, Jason? What's his name?
Lee?
The guy from all the Kevin Smith films. Yeah,
Lee.
Jason Lee. Yeah. That's all I really remember. But I liked Mr. Incredible in this one. Just how tired he was, and just being a dad. I just thought that was a cool thing.
Yeah, and then and I really love that, he figures everything out, and he's gonna sit down, and we're gonna do the math, and we're gonna fix the guy problems, and we've got Jack sorted, and he has that great moment, and then the reality of parenting is, okay, that's day one.
Right.
And then you have to wake up the next morning, and you have to do exactly that all over again.
Yeah, it's how I imagine everyone in the theater was feeling.
Yeah.
It was like they could all relate. It was good.
Because I thought that was great, because how many movies are like, oh, he figures out the math and he cooks breakfast, and then he's figured out the secret to parenting, and for the rest of the movie he's got it. He has everything under control. They went the real way of like, okay, that's great, you did that once. That's one.
Right.
Now you have to do it again and again and again and again until these kids never move out.
Oh yeah.
I was like, but yeah, I was like, that's fantastic. That was so good. And
I thought this movie was spoiled for me. I was on Instagram just looking at funny stuff. And I came across it was like funny stuff where you switch, you move it to the right and it keeps showing funny things. And one of them said, it was like Incredibles 2, Frozone dies or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck? I was so mad. I'm like, God damn it, it was ruined. So the whole movie,
you're waiting for it.
I'm waiting for him to die, and he doesn't die. So I was like, okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Someone got me, but yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. It's the best Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I liked the other superheroes that they showed. There was the bad guy. What was that old man? What was he?
Oh, what was he? Reflux or whatever his name was?
Reflux, yeah, I thought that was hilarious.
I love it. Illness or superpower, you decide.
Right. I thought that was great.
And I love it because it gets to the end and it's like, oh no, he vomits lava. Yeah, okay, that dude's frightening.
Right.
Like, exactly. That's terrifying. Oh my god.
Yeah. I thought it was great. But yeah, it was a good movie. It was fun. Oh man. But yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to say about it besides I really liked it.
No, it's good. It was really good.
Yeah. What'd you think of Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom?
I loved it, and part of me, you see the homages to the first film in the chase at the end.
Yeah.
I loved, like, she's pulling down the dumbwaiter lid. And I was like, yes, they're in the kitchen, and just having that moment. But I have not cried in a long time like I cried at that Brachiosaurus dying.
Yes, apparently that was the same Brachiosaurus from the original movie.
Yeah, and that ruined me. I was a mess. I was done watching that. And I was like one of the dudes I was watching it with was just kind of like, dude, are you all right? I was like, of course I'm all right. Like, God, I was done. Oh, that hurt.
Yep, they had to jump up a little bit, make the noise. Oh, it was sad.
Yeah, oh God, I'm gonna cry thinking about it.
Yeah, I still don't know if I like the idea of them nuking the island.
Well, what else were they gonna do? Like, you have to, it's a screenwriting.
About these movies, they get lost on an island with dinosaurs.
Yeah, but you can only do that so many times.
That's the best part about them.
I like that they were saying no. Like, this has to move forward. This has to go somewhere else.
I get it. I don't like it. I'm fighting against it. I get what they're doing, and it makes sense to do that too. It's very risky to burn everything from the first movie to not rely on it as a crutch. I totally get that.
That's an old screenwriting adage, man. You have to burn down the house.
But I don't like. I guess I'm not excited for the direction they're heading in with Jurassic World, where there's dinosaurs all over the world instead of it being on an island. I'm just not excited for that. That was the one part about the movie that left me like, I don't like where this is going. Like, that now we're just gonna have dinosaurs, and it didn't seem like there was that many dinosaurs that escaped, so they can't really mate.
No, I mean, that's the thing, and because I've spent way too much time thinking about that part, was like, unless you have, because here's the thing, Henry Wu is still out there.
Right.
If you had the money to build the kind of lab he would want,
So that's the only thing I can think of, is that now there's all these other governments that are going to be weaponizing these. Now, what is it going to be, 10 years into the future, and now we're going to have a World War Jurassic Park? I don't know if I like that.
It's
I like the movie where they go to an island and they get chased by dinosaurs, and it's thrilling, and it's 4 or 5 characters, and now it's this world. Now it's like they're gonna make it this big. I don't know if I like that. I like the confined spaces. I loved the confined spaces of this house. It felt like, a Resident Evil movie or something.
Yeah.
Like Dino Crisis. Like, that was cool as shit.
Yeah, it really was.
And at the end, they're like, once, and they even say it out loud. They're like, once you do this, there's no going back.
Yeah, that's what I loved, was like they were very aware of, like, this is a big deal.
Yeah. And I know I am totally on the minority with this one when it comes to wanting them to stay on the island and stuff, but I don't like the idea that you have to kill things to make it interesting. You have to kill the past to make it interesting.
Let the past die.
And I know they're doing that with Star Wars. They're doing that with Jurassic Park. I just don't get why that makes it suddenly more interesting.
I think because so many people, there's so much push for nostalgia right now, that the only way to make sure you don't fall into that trap is to make sure you remove it.
Well, the problem is that if you really believed that, you would create new things and not rely on these old series.
Oh,
because that's why people go see those old series.
Yeah, no, I so agree. I absolutely agree. But
when I see Star Wars, I'm still wanting to see lightsabers, and I want to see the Skywalkers, or I want to see that lore, that universe. You don't have to kill it to make it suddenly more interesting. And I feel the same with Jurassic Park. Like, I liked when we got a hint of it in the last one when they rebuilt the park. I actually went back and watched The Lost World, and I really like that movie. I like it more now than I think I did back then. And I don't know. I guess I'm not against them with what they've done, because they've definitely opened it up. But I'm curious how that's going to work, especially when it just seemed like a few dinosaurs escaped. It seemed like something manageable. They were like, one Velociraptor got out. One, T-Rex got out. What are they going to do? What are they going to fuck? They're going to die.
Right, unless you clone them, which we've
capture them.
Well, and here's the thing though, the bigger thing that opens up, they cloned a human.
Yeah, you see that had the biggest. Yeah, that's going to be one of the biggest things moving forward from this movie. Now it's in a whole different realm.
Yeah.
Of possibilities.
And I think it was
now you have clones of humans.
Yeah, and I think it was kind of always headed that way. Like, they were kind of teasing that idea.
Yeah.
It was always like, well, here's what we've done. Imagine what else we could create. And now they've done it.
I guess they've just gone completely away from the park idea, and that's what makes me bummed out, because there's something special about an amusement park full of dinosaurs, and they get loose, and we're never going to get that again.
That's true if there wasn't Isla Sorna.
I know there's the other park, but there was no amusement park on that one. It was just a island for mating. Right,
and so I mean, that's got to be included in the next movie. Like, there's got to be Site B has to be in the third film.
Right. Yeah, because it was in the second and third of the first trilogy. So yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, it's definitely, they're definitely going to be going back to that. But I don't know. You know what I'd love a TV show. Jurassic Park, the TV show. And I know they've done like other weird dinosaur shows or whatever, but I would love a show set in this universe where some people get stuck on that island.
You really do. I'm sorry. I have to do this. You really do want the Lost World, don't you?
Well, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, wouldn't you love a TV show like that? I think it'd be better paced. It would be more exciting. Stuck on the island, all this weird shit. They run into the, who knows who else is on the island. It'd be kind of like Lost, but not crazy like Lost. But
I don't want that.
oh, why are you kidding me? I would eat that up.
You're welcome to it. Hey, if they make it, more power to them. I don't want that.
You don't want that?
No,
That doesn't excite you at all?
no, it doesn't.
No? A dinosaur TV show? Not at all.
Not like that. No.
What do you mean?
I don't want to see like, oh, these people crashed on an island, filled with dinosaurs. Okay, then they get eaten at the end. Like I
No,
don't
no, no. They find a scientist that's been stuck there, and they're
No.
trying to get off, and
No.
uh,
I don't
no,
know.
I don't
No.
know.
I don't
That
want
would be
that.
fun.
Yeah. I don't
But I mean, what are we gonna do now? What is it? So they're gonna weaponize them. We're gonna have Russia with their own dinosaur army. We're gonna have Japan with their own dinosaur army. We're gonna have private military with their own dinosaur army.
Well, I mean, you can just imagine, like Russia doing that would be hard though cuz it's cold.
That's true.
And these are, these are reptiles. They're not going to do well in the cold.
Well, I mean, what if they weren't gonna fight in Russia though? What if they just dropped a whole bunch in the United States?
Well, okay, but then so like where do they build them though? Where do they grow them? Still cold.
Ah, that's true.
But,
I don't
I
know.
mean,
I
I'll,
imagine they'll figure it out.
I'll
I
tell
mean, that
you.
would be kind of a way to attack, is if you Dumbo drop a bazillion velociraptors in New York City and stuff.
I mean, you're not wrong, but we
That's a
saw.
way to clear the streets.
Yeah, in a way, but we also saw, like, Blue got shot once and it almost killed her. Like, these are not extra strength, sturdy creatures.
Oh, but what if they put weapons on the dinosaurs?
Okay, but I mean, still, shoot them in the head. Like, it would still
No,
work. Like, I mean,
no, you armor them.
see,
I'm just kidding.
you
I'm
see
just
how,
trying to think of my trapper keeper back in
ex-
elementary school, where they had armor and guns and stuff. No, but I mean, like, what do they do with this moving forward? What do you think?
I don't know. I really don't. And I think here's the thing that always drives me nuts. No matter what happens, they'll get rid of the T-Rex and the Raptors, and hey, we've eradicated dinosaurs again. Hooray! They will never get rid of the compies. Those little tiny scavenging pricks. They will
Right,
always be around. They will
right.
be the new rats,
Hmm.
and they will be vicious, and they will be terrible, and they will be what ends humanity.
Well, I mean, think about the ecosystem around that in California. They just that's going to wipe out every species,
Yeah.
every bird, every insect, everything.
Yep.
And now apparently there was an after credit scene, but I had to go to the bathroom. I
It's
had to
it
pee
it's
so
a
bad.
like a handful of pterodactyls land on buildings in Vegas. That's it.
Okay,
It was like 4 seconds of movie.
okay,
It was just like, oh, flying dinosaurs in Vegas. The end. It was like,
that's
okay, great,
silly.
cool, whatever. Like,
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I'm curious what they're gonna do. I guess there's just I don't know, man. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna be one of the. I hate being that where I'm just like it's not gonna get better than the first one.
it's not, and that's
There's
fair.
just something magical about being at an amusement park to me. The moment when he falls down on his knees to catch his breath when he sees the Bronchosaurus, and he's just and then he's like, you know, what does he say? Dr. Grant, welcome to
Welcome
Jurassic
to
Park or whatever.
the Dr. Grant, my dear Dr. Sattler. Welcome to
To
Jurassic
Jurassic.
Park. It's
There's just
iconic.
something
It is.
magical about that.
There absolutely is, and part of it is because we were kids.
Right.
There's no questioning that. And we can still go back to that. That's the great thing. We can just act like these movies didn't happen. We can.
Yeah, but there's no amusement. I know. I guess that's why I really did love Jurassic World, because it was like we got an amusement park. It's open again, and
And
you're
the
thinking,
same thing happened all over again.
I loved it. There's something great about that.
That's fair.
There's something great about that, and now I just feel like it's going to be something very different,
The
and I'm sure people are gonna love it.
the problem is that movies reflect the times, and this is exactly what would happen today.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's where people look at this and you say, "Well, I don't like that." Well, then you got to change the world. Like that's
Right.
and I know that's a hard parallel to draw, and it's
Hmm.
tough to see that line, but that's, films are made and written that reflect the times. And
Right.
that's, art reflects periods. That's why 80s movies all had one look to them. That's why 90s movies were weird and nobody could tell what the hell was going on. You know,
Right.
it's why look at the future that we saw in the Jetsons. Everybody
Mhm.
had flying cars, things were simpler, but people still worked because
Right.
you couldn't picture, food was and put some water on it and hey, here's the
Mhm.
meal. But you still had to go to work. There were still
Yeah.
office jobs because people couldn't see past, they couldn't see a way around that. Flash forward 50 years, and what's our view of the future in everything? Nobody is painting a utopia anymore. Everybody is looking at a nuclear wasteland or the machines taking over
Right.
or a zombie apocalypse. It's all dystopia. It's all awful. It's all authoritarian.
Mhm.
It's all we have screwed up. We have to go back and fix this. Like
Right.
there's, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is not is hey, all these things were great and we had all this possibility, but look at what people have become and look at
Mhm.
what they would do with this. I mean,
Right.
that absolutely would happen today. There's no
Oh
question.
no, I agree 100%. They would go, "Oh, that's great that it's an amusement park, but there's a million other things that we could do to this to profit."
Right. And
Yeah.
so I mean, that's, if you want better movies, you have to change the world. You have to make
Yeah.
people more optimistic, or you have to be that optimist and write a movie that way, and then convince a studio that this is the movie that would sell.
Well,
And
maybe we'll get more Jeff Goldblum in the next one, hopefully.
yeah, right. But
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I love Ready Player One so much, is because it's a Spielberg film. It harkens back to when there were good guys who were good, and they were kind of screwed up, and then they learned something, and you saw they were good all along,
Mm-hmm.
but they got better. And then there were
Right.
bad guys who were bad, and they were always bad, and they lost.
Yep.
And that was it. The good guys won, and the bad guys lost, and it used to be that simple.
Mm-hmm.
But now the good guys win at a cost.
And the
And
bad guys get away.
and the bad guy loses, but hey, maybe he wasn't wrong.
Right.
I'm sorry, you go to Avengers Infinity War and you sit there and you hear Thanos talk and you think, you know what? He's not actually completely twisted. That's when you've got a problem.
Yeah.
A villain like him, it should just be, I want to kill half the universe. Well, that's wrong. But
Yeah, but he's trying to save the other half.
yeah, and that's part of what makes him a good villain is
I
that
know.
is that he believes he's the hero and he's convincing about
Right.
that, but he shouldn't be able to convince the audience.
Right.
It's not
you know how many people I heard that was like, he's not wrong. I'm like, he was wrong. He killed half the universe. What's wrong with you?
I'm kind of on his side, man. I don't,
No.
but that's the thing. That's the world we live in, where you look around and you go, you know what? If we lost half the people, we'd have a lot fewer assholes to deal with.
No, you just move them around like you have any wish in the world, and instead of saying go buy half the people, you could just wish for them to never go hungry again. You could just wish for them to, here's more food. Okay, belly problem solved. Here's more housing. I'm going to move half the universe to the other side where there's all these planets that no one's living on that you can live on. Like, he was not creative enough to come up with a better solution because he was just lazy. He said, "Well, and simple. I'll just kill half the universe. They'll solve it."
Well, yeah, because the universe had progressed and evolved, and he saw how systems broke down. Dude,
Yeah.
we make enough food right now in our country to feed the entire world.
Sure.
And look
And
at
if
how
you
many.
had a magic wand to correct it, you wouldn't kill half the people on the planet. You would say, "Well, I could just move this food around."
Sure, and then in a generation, we're back where we started.
No, not if you'd move it.
Are you sure?
Sure.
Does it stay moved, or do people find ways to pull it back?
Okay, you kill half the universe, and I'm sorry, they will keep populating, and so you'll be back. That's not going to solve anything. You're not going to change hearts
Ask
and
the
minds.
people on Gamora's home planet. It's apparently
I
a
don't believe
paradise
that.
now.
That's fake news. I think he's making that up. I think he said that because that was the best thing to say at the time.
I
How
hope
is he going to check that? What is he going to? He's going to beep. He's going to beep someone in space. Hey, can you check this for me to see if the planet is thriving?
he has the space stone. He could just go.
Didn't his planet get like? No, I don't. I don't believe for a second that planet was. I think he was lying about that.
I hope that's something they could have fact checked. That is absolutely something she could have just said, prove it. And he could have just said, okay, and then immediately teleported because he had the space stone. They could have absolutely done that. And I hope that's in the 30 minutes extended footage. I hope they show part of that.
Could be. But I don't know. I don't think genocide is the answer.
Well, it's not genocide is killing all of a whole group. He killed half of every group.
Oh, sorry. Semi-genocide. I don't know what you would call that.
Demi-genocide, I guess, maybe.
There you go.
I'll take that.
But I get your point. That's why I actually love Thanos as a villain.
It's because it makes you think. We're having this conversation. Like that's what it does. It makes you think. Yeah. Yes, he's insane. He's clearly crazy.
He's the Mad Titan.
Yeah, and boy, did he earn it. But you know, congratulations, you're a prophet. No.
I don't know. But Jurassic World. I mean, I loved the movie. I had a lot of fun with it. Like I said, it was just the very end that left me feeling weird because I don't know what direction this is going in, and I don't know if I like it.
That's fair. That's a totally fair. That's a very fair point.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, I'm gonna be there first weekend when it comes out. Or second, I guess, because I was went to this one, the second one. But you know what I mean. I would definitely want to see the next one. I'm excited to see what's happening, but
wait until you see Ant-Man and the Wasp. You're gonna be pissed.
Oh, really?
Well, and I'll say this:
burn an island full of dinosaurs to the ground.
No, they arguably do something worse.
Oh, really?
Well, let me say this. I will say this for Ant-Man and the Wasp. The movie, before you get to any mid or post-credit scene, the movie stands on its own.
Okay.
It's set. It is set at some point before Infinity War.
Okay.
It's in that time period, and it perfectly sits on its own as a film.
Okay.
From titles to credits, it is its own movie. I love it. It's great. It's fantastic, and it's hilarious. Mm-hmm. The mid-credit scene is the Infinity War fallout.
Okay.
I will say that. So, and I love that they did it that way. So that the movie is a movie. It's not, the only thing that the movie is reliant on is the first Ant-Man and Civil War, because he was in Civil War. That's it. That's really all that if you've seen those two movies, you will enjoy. You're not really missing anything from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That's perfect.
But yeah, the tie-in stuff comes from the mid-credit scene, and I like that they separated it that way.
That's good. Yeah, well, I'm going to be seeing it Friday, and I'm excited. Paul Rudd's hilarious. I like the shrinking and the becoming big and like that whole thing. That's fun.
I can't wait to talk about this with you next week, because there is a whole sequence in that film where he just goes to town.
Yeah,
it's so good. It's a fun, funny movie. If you want
genius casting.
Oh yeah. Oh, no question. Yeah. No question. And if this is what's great, if you wanted a palate cleanser from Infinity War, leave before the credits.
Yeah.
Because once you get to the credits, we're back to, oh wait, that's right. There are big consequences of things. Right. It is a fun, funny movie. It really is. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh yeah. And what's his face? The Spanish guy.
Oh, Luis. Was it Carlos Pena? Yeah, Luis. Oh god, Luis is so good.
Oh yeah.
They're all good. There is one fantastic. There is a jump scare moment in that film that nobody saw coming, and it scared the crap out of the theater. It's great.
I'm excited.
Because it relies on some of the other cast. Like they all have their time and their moments, and it's man.
Oh yeah.
Truth serum. That's all I'm gonna say. Truth serum. It's great. It's so good.
Oh yeah.
I want to go watch it again, but I'll work.
I kind of want Louise to narrate all the Marvel movies, like at the
Man,
very beginning.
I would. Are you kidding me? Here's a Marvel one shot. Let's bring those back. Louise narrates
Yeah,
the saga of the Marvel universe. It's
yeah.
12 minutes of him. Well, at first what happened was, there was this guy and
Well,
he lived in New York and he didn't like bullies. So you see what happened was he tried to go into the army and
yeah. Well,
God.
tell me this. Tell me that. Does he do that at the beginning of the movie to catch you up with what happened in the first one?
No, but I wish he did.
Oh yeah, because he does it in the commercial, and I'm like, that's perfect.
Yeah, he does that. He has one of those stories in the movie.
Okay.
They
Oh
they
yeah,
have
I
not forgotten.
expected that. Yeah.
Yes, it's not at the beginning though. That would have been great. Like,
Yeah.
so my boy Scott, like he went to prison and then he got out of prison, and so I went and picked him up in a van, and he's like, "Oh my god, you still got the van?" It's, oh
Yeah.
god, he's great because Carlos Pena gets a little more screen time in this film, I think, than in the
Good.
first one,
Good.
and he's good. He is so good.
Oh yeah.
But
He was one of the standouts for the first one for me.
yeah, and you could tell they learned that. So they were like, yeah,
Yeah.
we need to put him in more of this movie. But
Yes.
it's so much fun and it's so funny, and it's never like, oh my god, just like crazy laugh out loud funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like we've built like it's not about jokes.
Right.
It's about, oh my god, this whole scenario is hysterical.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh
it's
yeah.
great.
That's what the first one was just like. This is a weird situation.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, we told him not to whistle. Why is he whistling? And he's whistling "It's a Small World." Oh Jesus! Like,
That's funny.
it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
God, I
Oh
want to
yeah.
go back and watch it again. It's so good.
Yeah.
It is. It's funny. It is just a fun bring people and enjoy this movie. It's really good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't care, some people are gonna have problems with like, well, this in continuity and this and that, blah, blah. I don't care. It's not a continuity heavy movie. They made it specifically so that it sits. It's like Thor. It's like Ragnarok was. It is
Mhm.
its own movie in its own time.
Yeah.
And I love that they did the same thing with this. I really did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's something big happening this weekend.
Yeah, I meant to talk about this earlier. Statesville Comic Con is this Saturday, July 14th at the Civic Center. It's on Center Street. It's at 300 North Center Street, whatever. 10 a.m., 5 p.m. We keep having. I don't know how they keep packing people in here. Like they have so many vendors in here. It's insane.
Oh, that's cool.
Our R&B is going to be there. It's our local comic. They have a couple different cosplayers. They have a couple cosplaying, I don't want to say outfits, but I mean like outfits as like a group of people.
Oh, okay.
They have, and I mean, they've got more tables in the hallways now. Like, I mean, this thing is
Oh,
is
nice.
seriously growing, and I'm really impressed. And attendance is good. It's $5 at the door.
Can't beat that.
I mean, it's, and you go in and you walk around and you're like, oh, hey, this is cool stuff. And they've got artists, they've got people who do wood burnings, they've got, it's just all kinds. And it's cool, especially for a little place like Statesville. Like, it's awesome that we have a con. And, we do it twice, it's twice a year. It's once in like January, February, and then once in July. And
That's awesome. Yeah, the art for those, any kind of con, man, that's my favorite part about it,
yeah, nice.
is the local art. It's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, that's this week. Again, Saturday, 10 a.m., 5 p.m. I will be there early. I'll be wearing our shirt.
Sweet.
I'll probably I don't know which one yet, but I'm definitely gonna wear one of the Wee Geek shirts. But
Sweet.
yeah, I gotta work that day, so I will be there early. If you recognize me, I'm gonna be really surprised. But come up, say hi. I wish I had like little cards or flyers or something to hand out, but
Yeah.
I don't. I feel bad. But
Yeah, we got to get those.
but come by, check it out. Support a con for a town of, what are we, 20,000 people? Like, it's insane. We're a North Carolina mountain town, and we have enough nerds here to have our own con.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Hell yeah, dude.
But yeah, definitely come by and check it out. It's gonna be fun. It's always a good time.
All right, sounds good, dude. All right. Well, that's about wraps this episode up. It's pretty late. We'll be back next week. Make sure you go to our Facebook group, We Geek Podcast, our Twitter, at We Geek Podcast, at the Logan Witt, at Adam Estep. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel where we post our podcast, We Geek Podcast. Shoot us an email, wegeekpodcast@gmail.com. And I hope I'm not missing anything. And we'll see you next weekend. Captain?
Captain.